So just so we're really, 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 really clear, I should absolutely not be doing this stream. This is it's not ill-considered because I did consider it, and then I dismissed the idea of it because it's a horrible, horrible, horrible idea for me to be doing this stream. For so many reasons, which I will explain in the course of this stream. This is a bad idea. This is not going to be a productive stream in any way. And everyone should just start to get themselves used to that idea. If we're going to hang out together tonight, you need to know that this is not going to be probably. I mean, I think I'm going to teach some stuff. I think we can talk about narcissism and stuff like that. Michael says, I am so glad I found you. I was watching the quartering, etc. every now and then and didn't realize how toxic he was. Oh, Michael, I'm glad you're here. I just really want you to manage your expectations about what this stream is going to be tonight because sometimes most of the time, I feel like I do serious work. I'm committed. I focus on things that matter. But every once in a while, I'm not a perfect person. Every once in a while, you just have to give in to the nonsense. You really do. And I'm sorry, I've been laughing about this like all day. I had to do it. I had to. It's too epic. I am not drunk. No, do you guys know what I just did? I actually went to Vivek Ramaswamy's event in Manchester. Vivek Ramaswamy just announced that he's officially running for president, which of course I knew and I told you guys 2 weeks ago because I was at his little pre announcement event in New Hampshire a couple weeks ago. So if you guys had listened to me, I already told you he was running. So he did an official event tonight, and I love Vivek Ramaswamy. If you guys have not seen him, he was on Tucker Carlson last night announcing he's running. He has been on Fox News a lot. He wrote a book called Woke Inc. Anyway, I was at his event and I did have one single solitary beer because I was handed a drink ticket on the way in the door. And I'm like, I can't waste this here drink ticket. So I did have a single beer, but I am not drunk in any way. You know what? A good idea for a stream? West Wing. Yes, Bree. I know. I'm failing Bree in every measurable way. I know. I keep promising to do it and then I keep getting sidetracked. I promise, Bree. I promise. I swear to God. I really do want to do it. I'm not just saying it. I really do. It's just a time issue. Anyway, so I was at Vivek Ramaswamy's event earlier. And you guys need Vivek Ramaswamy is going to be a dark horse candidate. Like, mark my words. He is someone that people didn't see coming. And after he announced yesterday that he was running for president, the conservative MAGA base swarmed him and started attacking him. And I was even like he was surprised by it. Apparently, he was like he was not expecting that to happen. But he did a great job at the event tonight. He even impressed the libertarians. There were a lot of libertarians there. Jeremy Kauffman actually introduced him. And he did a great job tonight. I really think that Vivek is going to be more of a contender than people think he is. That's not what the stream is about, though. That's not what the stream is about at all. That just happened to happen tonight. Kate says, to the Carlin was right tip jar. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, so I actually told my I told my community earlier today I was absolutely not going to do this. I told my community so I was talking about this earlier in my supporter call and I said I have to talk about it on the supporter call because I absolutely cannot under any circumstances talk about this publicly. So I let it all out with the supporter call, but then you know what? I was thinking about it all day. And I have to because what happened last night was just so hilarious. So you guys know, some of you know, I have a band of stalkers on Twitter that so the word fan comes from the word fanatic, right? And by every measurable every ounce of sanity, these people are fanatical about me. These people talk about me all day, every day. These people live and breathe by everything that I do. They seriously, these people are obsessed with me. And this is why I should absolutely not be doing this stream. I should absolutely not be talking about these people's obsession with me at all. Except for a couple of things. Number one, if we go into the retweet section here, we can see that, oh, look, Frank, who is Chrissy Mare's simp, has retweeted this, which actually isn't the main reason that I'm doing this. But I just think it's kind of interesting that Chrissy Mare and her simp bitch Frank are so invested in this. But the real reason is I find this thread absolutely hilarious. I have literally been laughing about it since I saw it, like, this morning. This crazy woman wrote a 40-tweet thread outlining all of the reasons that I am supposedly a narcissist. And I had heard something about some sort of thread being crafted like weeks ago because I keep an eye on these unhinged lunatics, quite frankly, because they talk about me in public all the time. To be really serious for a second, these people have doxed two of my friends for real. They've doxed two of my friends. They've tried to destroy my marriage. They have gotten me deplatformed multiple times. They obsess about everything I do. They try to sabotage every single effing thing that I do. Literally, everything that I do. Because they're unhinged lunatics. And so I was ready to just ignore this entire thing, except that this thread is so hilarious. It's like, I'm not even mad at this thread. I'm not. It's so And so I thought we would for people that have been obsessively committed to proving I'm a narcissist for over 2 years now, for this to be the output of what was produced as the ultimate proof that I'm a narcissist. I'm sorry. This stream is for me, okay? You're all here and you're welcome to stay and we can work our way through this together. And I do hope that we can actually in the course of this stream have a conversation about what narcissism actually is. Cuz these people have no effing idea what it is at all. But I just have to. I'm sorry. And I came home tonight and I saw my husband downstairs and I said, Victor, I'm thinking about doing that stream that I really shouldn't do. And he's like, Carlin, do it. You want to do it. You've been thinking about doing it all day. Just do it. And I said, Victor, thank you for the moral support. And he said, that's what I'm here for. So this is my husband's fault. No, Nick, I had one beer tonight. I am not drunk in any way. And so what I hope will happen on this stream, yes, everyday therapist, it is Victor's fault. I came home and I was like, do I need to work? Which is, I do actually need to work. There is stuff I need to do. Or do I want to talk about these crazy, crazy people and why they don't know what they're talking about at all? So let me give you a little bit of backstory for yes, Carlin's stream is our drunk. This is basically this is except I'm not drunk. And I know you guys will all get a kick out of this too. So I have to give you guys some backstory. For those of you who have not been following this insanity for the last 2+ years, I have a horde of unhinged stalkers, and they're probably watching all of us right now. Hi. They watch every single thing that I do. There will let me tell you how unhinged these people are. This is what happens apparently when you build some sort of social media platform. You get unhinged lunatics. And these unhinged lunatics are so unhinged that before I even finish this stream tonight, there will be clips of this stream on Twitter posted by them that they are saying is proof that I am a narcissist. Watch for it. It happens every single time. These people have been stalking me and harassing me for 2 straight years, more than 2 years. And there have been times when these people legitimately made my life a living, breathing hell. There was a good year and a half that these people, they were, like I said, they doxed 2 of my friends. They have tried to destroy my marriage. They tried to get my book deal canceled. They have gotten me deplatformed multiple times. They have tried to ruin every single thing that I've tried to build to fight back against the woke left. They legitimately did, and my community knows this because they saw it happen. Is they yes, these are legitimate gang stalkers. Gang stalking is a real thing, and these people are doing it. And if you don't believe me, guess what? I documented the whole thing on a website I have called Surviving Carrie Smith, which is survivingcarriesmith.substack.com. I have and the reason it's called Surviving Carrie Smith is a woman named Carrie Smith is the epicenter of this entire affair. Every single person that is connected to this little horde of unhinged lunatics is connected to Carrie Smith. This woman has a YouTube channel. She claims to be a former SJW. Ain't no former about it. And so at towards the end of the last year, I was actually so fed up with all of this that I quite literally produced a book-length document that shows you every single one of the receipts of every single thing these people have tried to do to me over the last 2 years, and all led by Carrie Smith. And you can read all of it and see for yourself at survivingcarriesmith.substack.com. In fact, I think I have a ticker. Let's see. There it is. Yay. So these are these people. And I'm not going to go into all the full details because see, this is one of them. So now because I'm doing this stream, we're going to have like people like this person be like, "Why is there no likes?" People like this are going to get blocked, but these are the people we're going to start seeing on the stream right now. So the woman that wrote the thread about me today about why I'm obviously a narcissist is from this horde, and I can actually prove it. So if we look at one of the recent articles on, if you look at, it's actually this one, which one is it? This one, Carrie Smith's woke cancel mob harassed a man for interviewing me today. And so this is the article that I'm looking at right now. And so the woman we're gonna look at is she goes by Buffalo Sponks, the Queen of Yarnia. I have no idea why. And quite literally, this woman, every single time I document the insanity that is this horde of unhinged lunatics, this woman literally pays Carrie Smith money. Every single time. In fact, I have evidence of that because I wrote an article on another website I have called Art of the Trigger. And you can see here, and I wrote this article because I quite literally triggered this woman so badly that every single time I talk about this, she gives Carrie Smith her own money. And she somehow thinks this is punishing me, which is retarded. I'm sorry, it's retarded. So let me put this article in. This is from another Substack I have about triggering people. And so that's how badly I've made this woman come unglued. Now, this woman, I think, is not one of the most mentally stable people in the world. This is a post she made on Twitter not too long ago. Let me make this a little bit bigger. In which she says, "My haircutting friend came back to visit from Japan and wanted to swap a knit hat for a haircut." Yes, this woman is part of the woke knitting brigade. "Unfortunately, he got sick. Also, unfortunately, my hair seems to be falling out in giant clumps, most likely due to stress and poor diet, so I cut it all off myself." And this is something she's bragging about on Twitter, which is weird. Carrie Smith follows and interacts with this woman all the time. You can see the receipts. This is just from a little bit of it. So this woman is absolutely connected to the woke horde that is led by Carrie Smith. That's what I want to start with as preface. So you guys need to understand that this is not just one unhinged lunatic. This is like Carrie Smith's lead attack dog, unhinged lunatic. Okay? Mass Genocide says, "I love it when Carlin uses retarded. It's my fave. I don't mean to offend anyone with the use of the word retarded. I just think we should bring it back and we should ascribe the proper meaning to it, which is not to insult people with Down syndrome, because there's no reason to insult people with Down syndrome. That's mean and cruel, and I would never do that. I'm not using it in that sense. I'm using it to insult absolute unhinged idiots. And I'm using it to insult, quite frankly, people who need to be insulted. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So I'm reclaiming that word. It is a word of my childhood. We used to use that word all the time in my childhood, and no one was offended by it because we all knew what it meant. It wasn't about people with Down syndrome. It was about people who were unhinged idiots. So I don't want anyone to be offended. Sam says, "As someone who is neurodivergent, I feel better about things when I make fun of that fact." Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about the neurodivergent. I love the autist and the neurodivergent. Come on. Anyway, so that is the background on this story. Now, this band of imbecile is also a great word, Steve. Excellent. I concur. So here's what's happened. This band of unhinged lunatics convinced themselves that they had destroyed me. In fact, there is a whole chapter in this book where Carrie Smith and her best friend, Mike Harlow, quite literally brag that they have destroyed my career. They thought they had destroyed my credibility, that no one would take me seriously ever again, that no one wants to work with me, that all my audience hates me. Apparently, by the way, these people think that everyone who watches my content is in a cult. So, congratulations if you watch and enjoy my content. These people will tell you that you're in a cult and that I have mesmerized you like a witch to join my cult. And so because these people thought they destroyed me, do you know what they were really upset about? They were really, really upset when my Substack started taking off. They were really, really upset that I kept meeting my goals in terms of getting more and more and more paid subscribers on my Substack. They were really, really upset that they couldn't shut me up, that I persevered through all of their bullshit and I just kept going, and they couldn't get me to quit the internet because they are desperate for me to quit the internet. And so when my Substack started doing really well, because I started pushing it, I hadn't really started pushing my Substack until basically the very, very end of last year, but really I started mostly in January. And the Substack's been growing. And by the way, guys, I hit my monthly goal of the number of paid subscribers that I wanted to get this month earlier today. So I got 50 new paid subscribers on the Substack. So thank you all who subscribe to my Substack and who enjoy the work I'm putting out. I'm putting a lot of energy into it. I'm writing a lot of content for it. I'm really proud of the content of this Substack, and I know it's helping people, and I know that people are responding to it, and I can see that because you guys are helping me meet my goals in terms of bringing in new paid subscribers ahead of schedule, a whole week ahead of schedule. So how great is that? But you guess what? This band of unhinged lunatics on Twitter hates it because they thought they destroyed me. And the fact that people are reading my content, the fact that people are sharing my content, the fact that I'm getting more subscribers than even I'm surpassing my goals, they can't stand it. It is driving them insane. And then another thing happened. So for those of you who don't know, I just launched Unwoke Art, which is unwokeart.com. Now, Unwoke Art is something that I have been thinking about this for 2 years. And there was someone that is now a part of this horde of unhinged lunatics that I was working with in 2021, and we were going to start a business together. And we spent 6 months, 6 to 10 hours a day, every day, planning this business on Zoom. And then I told him no when he didn't wanna be told no, and he had an unhinged breakdown, and he tried to destroy the business because he was told no when he didn't wanna be told no. And so he was the person that I was going to go and do this thing called I call it Unwoke X, but Unwoke Art thing was part of it. And what the business was supposed to be was creating experiences, real life pop up experiences, but also digital art and propaganda and things like that that illustrate the logical end result of what the woke left is doing. And so I had all these ideas and I was in love with this idea for this business. And because I love art, people who it's not an accident that I have art behind me. I have a lot of original art in my house. I love art. I love creating things. I'm a very creative person. I paint. I can't do like portraits or anything. I'm not like that good at drawing, but I can paint. Guys know I knit. I do all sorts of different art related things. So the whole point of the business idea that fell apart in 2021 was to create art that does commentary on what woke is doing to our culture. And so when he lost his fucking mind and tried to destroy the business, basically I was still clinging on to this idea because in my head I have all these images of how this should work. And I have all these things that I wanted to get out. And I was like, okay, well, he doesn't want to do it. I'm just going to go do it myself. And so I got all these like art supplies, and I had like all these I had like these mock-ups done, and I was trying to work it out, like how can I still create these things and do this business, because he was going to be like actually create, like he's a photographer, and he was going to be creating like the creative and be one of the driving creative person, even though we were coming up with the ideas together, but a lot of the ideas were mine, and then he was going to basically be executing them. And so when he destroyed the business, I was like, fuck him. I'm not allowing him to take this idea away from me. And so just kept coming up with ideas and ideas and ideas. And I started coming up with plans to shift the business so that it would be something more attainable than I can do. But the reality was, I didn't have enough time to do everything. And so I had all these like half started art projects that were all around this idea of creating unwoke art that I just couldn't get off the ground. And it wasn't an issue of skill. It wasn't a lack of ideas. It was simply a lack of time. And so I kind of put it on the back burner. And I was like, there was other things that I had to do. And it was like, okay, I don't have a cohesive plan to be able to produce at the level I would need to be able to produce to make it sustainable right now. I have to put it on the back burner, and I'm going to figure it out later. But I never stopped thinking about this. And I would just keep coming up with ideas and ideas and ideas and ideas and ideas because I'm a creative person. I brainstorm all the time. And I like had all these things in my head that I didn't know what to do with until I started playing around with AI art. And I started playing around with AI art when, you know, I created basically like I did what most people do. I created avatars of myself. And I have a whole bunch of like let me pull them up actually. Hang on, let me show you guys. And if you guys haven't done AI art avatars, like it's really cool. It's really cool. And this is actually relevant to what we're going to talk about. So I posted them on my Instagram. Ba-do-ba-do-do. So you can see here, here are some of my AI art avatars that I made. Like these are cool. I just love it. I look like my cousin there, like you would not believe. I love all the different interpretations of these. Like, it's just it's neat seeing the different interpretations and what the AI like, I look like Avatar there, doesn't that look cool? And so, like and I just did a whole bunch of these because I was just experimenting, I was, like, playing it with it, and so I've got all sorts of other stuff too. If like, I use a program called Lensa, but there are so many, AI programs, that's me in a video game, me as Santa. Like, look at this, it's just really neat, you can get, like, all sorts of cool things, I love that one, like, isn't that interesting, you know? And some of them don't look like me, and that's fine, but I just love, like, what the AI did with this. Look at that, I love the colors of that. So anyway, I was just playing around with AI art, basically, and, let me go back to that, and I didn't really think much of it, I was like, "Okay, this is kinda cool," and then the other day, I got, like, I got, like, a lifetime deal because sometimes software companies, when they're just starting out, they will put lifetime deals on the internet where if you pay, like, $50 once, you get their tool for the lifetime of the tool being, like, a thing, and you get it really, really early, so they use it for development and all that stuff, and the tool might turn into something and it might not, so it's kinda like, you know, it's hit or miss sometimes when you're doing lifetime deals, but sometimes you can get really cool stuff, and so the other day, I got a lifetime deal for an AI art tool. Just kind of like on a whim. It was just something that came into my inbox and it was like, last chance to get this AI art tool. And I was like, okay, like, let me check this out. And I looked into it. I was like, it's like $50. All right. And so I got it and I started playing around with it and I made this. I made this. And I said, let me do the porcupine version of dogs playing poker. And so I made porcupines playing poker because, as you guys know, I live in New Hampshire and I am very involved with the libertarian community, the Free State Project community, and all that stuff. And the porcupine is the symbol of the Libertarian Party. And so Pork Fest is an event that I'm going to in June. It is the greatest festival in the history of festivals. I love Pork Fest. Pork does not stand for bacon, it stands for porcupine, PORCFEST. And so I was like, I was just playing around. I was like, let me make porcupine art because that's in New Hampshire. And I wasn't actually even gonna do anything with it. Well, Trendolin, you can get it on a shirt. You absolutely can. If you go to unwokeart.com, you can get this on a shirt right now. So I made this image and I put it on Twitter, and one of my community members immediately responded. And he said, Carlin, if you make that into a poster, I will buy it. And I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, I just like, oh, this is like a cool thing that I did. And I was like, really? And then I was like, holy shit. I can do the unwoke art idea that I've had quite literally for 2 effing years. But I just haven't been able to do it because I have not had the time to be able to do it. I don't have enough hours in the day. And I was like, I can use AI art to execute on the Unwoke Art project. And I had this idea, like, we're talking like 1 a.m. the other night. I may or may not have been high. I can't confirm or deny. But I was like, holy shit, I can use AI art to do the art project that I've had in my head for years to get all these images out of my head and into the world and actually be able to do something with it. And it will save me so much time. And I'm not suggesting that AI art is like easy because you really have to finagle it quite a bit. The AI art is not a perfect thing by any stretch of the imagination, but it's still much preferable to me painting everything and doing all that. It saves me a significant amount of time and the product can be really, really great. And so I just started playing around with it. And I was like, I'm just going to sell the AI art and this is going to be Unwoke Art. And so if you guys want to see what I've got up right now, I'm actually really proud of the stuff that I have up. So the first thing I put up is this was actually one of the first ideas that I had for like some sort of unwoke art concept. What it is a person meditating overlooking a city that's burning, and it says on the person, find your zen as the world burns. And the whole idea is like, even when the world is going insane, that doesn't mean you have to go insane. You can always find your zen. And so I actually had created this AI art image probably like months and months and months and months and months ago, and I just never did anything with it because I didn't think of it. And so this was like the first one that I did, and so you can get that at Unwoke Art on a you can get it as like a little photo that you can hang up. It's like a nice framed thing. You can get it on a journal, you can get it on a sticker. But then I decided I'm gonna do a whole Pork Fest line because again, Pork Fest is like it is my favorite thing of the year. And I thought, why don't I just do like a bunch of like porcupine inspired AI art images? And so the first one I did was again this porcupine's playing poker. So you can actually Trendlin said she wanted that on a t-shirt. You can get it on a t-shirt, Trendlin, and guess what? It's even got the Pork Fest 20 logo on it. So you can see right there. How cool is that? But then I did some other ones. I did psychedelic porcupine. Like, how cool is that? Come on. And I have so many great psychedelic ones, like, that I didn't release. This is the only one I decided to release. But how cool is that? And they all have the Pork Fest logo in them. And you can get this like on sweatshirts. And I did all sorts of cool like cool colors because this is the psychedelic one. So we can do some cool colors like gold, or like I put this one on white too, which I don't normally do. But this is but and I did King Porcupine earlier today. King Porcupine is on a throne of quills, which I thought was really cool. But my favorite one is the Much Liberty Porcupine. It's literally a porcupine with a gun that has a liberty flame on top of it. I mean, come on. Come on. And to be really clear, for people who are saying this is not plagiarizing anyone. It's not plagiarizing anyone. I'm not using any models for the AI to do its thing. You literally just give it a prompt. The AI uses things that are in the public domain. It's all in the public domain. It is perfectly legal to sell this, and I love it. I fucking love it. It's so cool. Anyway, so the reason I'm talking about this is because not only is this band of unhinged lunatics really, really, really pissed off that my Substack is doing so well and they couldn't destroy me or my credibility, but they're also really pissed off that I launched this. They're pissed that I launched this. They have been complaining about me launching this for 2 straight days. They're like, "How dare she do this? She's just stealing from other people." Me, 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 me. I mean, they have been complaining about this all day, every day. Why are they complaining about this? Because people are already buying my stuff and they like it. And it's so cool. And they're also complaining because it is proof that I didn't need the irrelevant asshole who destroyed my business, tried to destroy my business. I didn't need him in the first place. And the story that he has been peddling to these people for a year and a half since he destroyed our business, my business, it's in my name. The story he's been peddling to people is that I desperately needed him and I would never be able to do creative work without him. Well, guess what? It took me a minute to figure out how to do it. But once we got there, we got there. And now I can move forward 100% with at least the digital piece of this. I can build that up, make that successful, create really cool stuff. Really cool anti-authoritarian stuff that can inspire people, that can make people feel good, that can demonstrate like a positive creative thing in culture. And I don't need anyone's help to do it because the AI is going to help. And so this is the way I think we should be using AI. I think it's great. Anyway, so they've been complaining about this for a couple days, and the end result of their complaining about this was that our chief lunatic desperately had to post this 40 tweet thread about why I'm a narcissist. And it's hilarious. But basically, the reason that she posted this thread last night is because they are so pissed that I launched my art site and that they weren't involved at all and they couldn't stop it. And there's nothing they can do about it. Because again, they try to destroy every single thing that I do. And if they can't destroy it, what they do is they try to get retribution on me by like smearing me on the internet. But this thread is just so fucking hilarious. That I had to show it to you guys and I had to talk about it. I'm sorry. I just had to. And if you don't want to watch it, I don't like I'll do a serious stream tomorrow. You can come back tomorrow and watch that one. This is not going to be serious. It's 10 p.m. at night. Late night streams are never I'm never in my best form on late night streams. So what we're going to do is we're going to read this here thread and we're going to talk about why these people are absolutely positively convinced that I am an evil narcissist. And again, for those of you who came in late, I am acknowledging that I absolutely should not be doing this stream. I am acknowledging that I should not be giving these people any attention. I am acknowledging that this is a horrible idea that I will probably regret at some point tomorrow. I am acknowledging that about 10 hours ago, I said to my community on our private call, I said, I'm absolutely not acknowledging this publicly, even though I find it hilarious. But then my husband approved it, and so it's his fault. And sometimes I think you just need to do things that amuse you. So, guys, mount that like button if you are ready to hear all the reasons that I am a narcissist. I am not beering right now because I usually only drink on Fridays and Saturdays for the streams. I am bubbly watering with a metal straw that Joshua hates. Yeah, Jimmy says the cool thing about AI is you can create whatever you want. It's so amazing. I would really encourage everyone, if you don't think you can do art because you can't draw or you can't paint or you can't do any of these things or you don't know how, play with AI. Just play with it. Get the creative juices flowing. Just even get like avatars made of yourself because it's really fun. And you get to see some cool versions of yourself that maybe you would have never considered. And it's like, it's cool to be creative. It's fun to be creative. We are creative beings. And so if you feel like you don't have the skills, you just put in whatever you want into the AI and it'll spit something back out at you. And sometimes it'll be really bad. I've made a lot of really bad AI art, but then you just keep refining it and you keep playing with it and it's so much fun. So I want to encourage everyone to try it. Why not? Why not? All right. Let's dig in, guys, and let's learn about why I am a narcissist. Is Karlin Borisenko a narcissist? I think those of us who have witnessed her behavior over the last few years know the answer, but for argument's sake, let's cover our bases and do a little diving. So obviously, this is going to be an Obviously, this is going to be an extraordinarily well thought out and well researched thread about why I am a narcissist that is going to have a lot of receipts and irrefutable proof that I am a narcissist. So she's got a DSM-5 checklist. Okay. Let's see what she says. We're going to go through this checklist one by one, and we're going to compare her own words and behaviors with each item. Now, Carlin herself has said she was taking a diagnostic test on a website from a self-described ultra narcissist. Okay, we're going to talk about this. So, for those of you who don't know, I am a wee bit obsessed with HG Tudor. It's a little unhealthy, but he's so fucking brilliant. The man is brilliant. We're going to talk a lot about HG Tudor tonight. If you have not come across HG Tudor's content, you have got to fucking listen to HG Tudor's content. And if this woman and Carrie had spent more time listening to HG Tudor's content, they would discover how ridiculous they are. HG Tudor is a narcissistic psychopath, a real one in real life. And not only is he a narcissistic psychopath, but he is completely self-aware of what he is and why he does what he does. And this man has created an overwhelming amount of content explaining absolutely every single thing that anyone would ever want to know about narcissism. It is overwhelming. He is prolific. This guy has written like 50 books. He has thousands of videos. He has thousands of articles, and they are all explaining in explicit detail exactly what a narcissist is, all the different types of narcissism, why they do what they do. And I have read a lot of his content at this point. And one of the things that he has on his website is that you can do what he calls his narc detector, which is that you can fill out a survey and return it to him, and he will say whether the person you're describing in the survey is a narcissist. Now, I did this for myself, and I actually don't have an answer from him because basically, okay, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that in a second. Well, because there is actually a tweet that talks about this. So I'm going to explain more about why I reached out to him to try to get him to diagnose me in a second. But for what you need to know right now is this is who she is talking about when she's saying Carlin took a diagnostic test on a website from a self-described ultra narcissist. She's talking about HG Tudor. And I'm going to talk a lot more about him and his work as we make our way through this thread because HG Tudor has I was pretty good about narcissism. Like I studied workplace bullying for 10 years, and because I studied workplace bullying, I had to study narcissism, but I only studied narcissism in regards to how it manifests in the workplace. I did not study narcissism as it pertains to like normal life, okay? And so I knew my fair share about it from just what I did with my dissertation before. But let me tell you what, HG Tudor has brought my knowledge and understanding of narcissism to like an astronomically high level. His work is so good. And I'm really grateful that he's produced it because it allows such a nuanced understanding of what the disorder is. And I feel like I I am better for having read his work, and I feel better in regards to not being able to be sucked in by narcissists. Um, and I also, by the way, know I'm not a narcissist because I've read his work. But we're gonna play pretend for a little while. Anyway, so that's what she's referring to. Let's see what she has here. The DSM-5 lists 9 clinically significant symptoms of narcissistic personality disorder. An alternative model of assessing personality disorders incorporates identity, self direction, empathy, and intimacy. Not everyone with narcissistic traits suffers from narcissistic personality disorder. So it already seems as though our head lunatic has not noted that not everyone with narcissistic traits suffers from narcissistic personality disorder. I believe that everyone has narcissistic traits. If you didn't have narcissistic traits, you wouldn't take care of yourself. There's nothing wrong with doing things that serve yourself. Just because if you think you're like pretty good at what you do and you're proud of your work and you like playing with AI art, that doesn't mean you're a narcissist. Okay. None of those things qualify as a narcissist. You can do things. Oh, yes. Everyday therapist who is actually a clinical psychologist, unlike the unhinged lunatic who wrote this thread about me. Yeah, please check it out. I would love to hear. While we may have an idea of what narcissism looks like, the Diagnostics and Statistics Manual of Mental Disorders, the DSM-5, lists 9 traits and characteristics that are clinically significant in determining if someone's supersized ego may be something more than just self-confidence. At least 5 of the following traits must be exhibited to meet the diagnostic criteria for narcissistic personality disorder. All right. So she's given us something that gives us no information, but let's continue. And seems to not have a good grasp on the definition of no contact. Well, okay, hang on. Now, Carlin herself has said she was taking a diagnostic test on a website of a self described ultra narcissist and seems to not have a good grasp on the definition of no contact, but that's neither here nor there. I don't know what that. Oh, I do know what that means. Going no contact doesn't mean people can't respond or react to things that you've said about you by others. Yes, it does. She claimed, okay, let me explain. So this is where I said I retweeted her, and this was a long ass time ago because I quite frankly got sick of this shit. I got sick of being called a narcissist every effing day on the internet. I got sick of Carrie Smith calling me a narcissist every effing day on the internet for 2 fucking years. And so I sent this tweet saying, Carrie, this is an excellent opportunity for you to implement HG Tudor's no contact regime, unfollow the account you're following that stalks me, and tell your horde to stop talking about me around you. It's great advice. You'll hurt me if you go no contact. Okay. So what HG Tudor tells people is that if you want to get away from the narcissist in your life, if you want to free yourself of the narcissist, you have to go no contact. Completely no contact. Now, this is not the same thing as gray rock. And so because one of the things HG Tudor does is he teaches people who have been the victims of narcissists how to handle the situation and why it happened and what to do about it, okay? And so Carrie had an interview with HG Tudor, which was an interview that was entirely about me because Carrie was like, HG, I am dealing with this crazy narcissist and she will just not leave me alone. Carrie was talking about me when she did that. And HG Tudor said to her in that interview, and I watched the interview on this channel, you can go and watch it for yourself. He said to her, Carrie, you have to implement a no contact regime because that is what he tells people to do. Now, HG Tudor, when he says a no contact regime, he means you do not contact the narcissist. You do not talk about the narcissist. You do not think about the narcissist. You get rid of your phone number that the narcissist has. You get rid of your email that the narcissist has. You make yourself so the narcissist cannot contact you. You stop talking about the narcissist with your friends because you're not even supposed to think about the narcissist. You stop looking at the narcissist's social media because you're not supposed to think about the narcissist. Now, Carrie Smith quite literally follows an account that is dedicated to stalking me. Carrie Smith quite literally hangs out with people who just talk about me all day, every day. And so my position was, if Carrie Smith legitimately thinks that I am a narcissist, then and she believes that HG Tudor knows what he's talking about because she interviewed him and she was very complimentary of him. So she should actually take his good advice. The advice that he would give her and did give her live on the internet was, Carrie, you need to implement a no contact regime, Carrie. And so that would mean that Carrie would have to unfollow that account that's stalking me because she's not supposed to think about me. It would mean that Carrie would have to stop talking about me on the internet because she's not supposed to think about me, much less talk about me. That Carrie would have to alleviate this obsession that she has with me and go her own way. And so that's what I was saying here. I was like, Carrie, if you legitimately think I am a narcissist, so much so that you staged an entire interview with the world preeminent narcissist just to talk about me, which, by the way, is insane. Like, if you have a chance to to talk to HG Tudor and you just want to talk about me, what a waste. That guy is fascinating. That guy, I'll tell you what, if I ever had the chance to interview that guy, I'm sure as shit not talking about Carrie Smith with him. I'm talking about him. Because if you interview a narcissist, you talk about the fucking narcissist. You don't talk about other people. He doesn't want to talk about other people. He wants to talk about himself. But Carrie wanted to talk about me, and that's what she did. And then he was like, you have to stop doing this if you really want to get rid of her. And I was like, you know what? This is great fucking advice. Carrie, you have now heard from the world preeminent narcissist that the solution to your problem is to stop fucking talking about me. And I agree. Stop talking about me. And so I tweeted that out. And this insane woman retweeted me and says, Carlin admits she's a narcissist. And I'm like, you know what? At this point, I was like, fine. If you guys need me to admit that I'm a narcissist to get you idiots to shut the F up about me, then I will gladly say that I'm a narcissist. Yes, I am a narcissist, Carrie. Go no contact. If that is all that is required for me to get these idiots to shut the fuck up, then I will absolutely admit I'm a narcissist. Because I know I'm not a narcissist. And I think most of the people watching here, except for the horde of merry idiots that are watching me to hate watch me, I think most of you guys know that I'm not a narcissist. And to be quite frank, I wouldn't actually care if I was. Like, if I was, it wouldn't be my fault. It would be a combination of nature or nurture. So, like, why should I be ashamed of it anyway? But no, she's like, Carlin has finally admitted she was a narcissist. And I'm like, yes, I'm a narcissist. Go no contact. Hurt me. Go no contact. Stop talking about me. If I'm a narcissist and you actually believe I'm a narcissist, your only answer here is to stop effing talking about me. Well, I retweeted that and I said, I truly and sincerely hope that HG Tudor diagnoses me as a narcissist. I would embrace it. It would also mean you would all have to go no contact if you trust his diagnosis and advice. Please do it. Please go no contact. I'm taking his narc detector right now. And I actually did take it. So she says here, and we'll talk about that narc detector in a second. So she says here, Carlin seems to not have a good grasp on the definition of no contact, but that's neither here nor there. Going no contact doesn't mean people can't respond or react to things said about you by others. Yes, it does. It quite literally does. Anyone who has ever listened to HG Tudor explain the no contact regime knows that it explicitly means that you can't respond. It explicitly means that you're not supposed to follow accounts stalking people. It explicitly means that you're not even supposed to think about them. That's what it means. That's what he defines it as. I actually even offered to pay for Carrie to do like a live consultation with HG Tudor so that he could explain the no contact regime to her, like one on one. I would have paid for it, no problem. If it results in getting Carrie Smith to shut the fuck up about me, I would do almost anything at this point. It's been 2 years of this bullshit. So this woman is wrong. It explicitly means that. So then she claimed to be taking his narc detector right now. I did take his narc detector. And as the test costs $100, 100 big American smackaroonies, it's not something you're going to drop money on and forget about. However, Carlin was never given a result. No, HG Tudor refused to give me a result. He did. So, how the narc detector works, and I'm not going to tell you the questions on it. What this is this is something that he sells to people to get them to take the narc detector about a narcissist that they've like been in a relationship with or is in their family or something like that. It is someone else's assessment of a third party. That is what it is intended to be used for. Now, I bought it. I absolutely paid $100 for it. And well, we'll get to that in a second. So I bought it. I have it. I'm not going to show it to you guys because I'm not going to give away his instrument, but I do have it. And and I took the whole thing and I sent it to him and he responded and he said, "You can't evaluate yourself, so I can't give you a result." And he offered to refund my money. He did. And I was like, "That kinda sucks." Like, I've been honest in this but, like, he doesn't think that and I can understand his perspective here. Now, I was actually really brutally honest when I took it, but I can also understand his perspective, and to be quite frank, it's his diagnostic manual. Like, I can't control him. He's a narcissist. I absolutely can't control him. And so he basically told me that he wasn't going to diagnose me either way, and he offered to refund my money. And I said to him, just keep it because to be quite frank, I have spent so much money on HG Tudor's content and it's been so valuable to me that I honestly didn't really care. I was like, $100, whatever. Your content is way more valuable to me. Just keep it. Like, put it towards. He has like an angel fund that if people can't afford his services, like you can donate to that fund. I was like, let's put it towards that. Like, whatever. Um, and I was totally fine with it. Now, like, let me put this in perspective because this woman seems to think that this $100 is like the end all be all of everything for me. I have probably spent over $500 on HG Tudor's content because HG Tudor has a bunch of books. I've read probably 15 of his books. Um, and those all cost money. HG Tudor has a bunch of paywall content that you have to pay like extra money to get content to listen to or content that explains certain things. I have probably spent over $500 on this guy's content. And so I wasn't actually really worried about $100 because in the grand scheme of things, like if you if you give me value in terms of teaching me something that is really important or just like I think you do a really good job at something, I don't mind spending money. Money is a value exchange. If you give me something valuable, like an amazing treasure trove of content about narcissism, then I am more than happy to pay you for your trouble because it has probably taken him thousands of hours to develop that content. And so for me, like with the amount of value that guy's given me, I was like, you just go buy a couple bottles of wine or like whatever. But I don't really care. Like so I told him I didn't have to refund it, but I did take it and he refused to give me a result. So fine, whatever. That's right. She claims she just let $100 fly out of her hands and into the ether and all for naught. Well, it wasn't all for naught. Again, this woman seems to think that, like, I'm like, "Oh my god, $100." Listen, I know that $100 is a lot of money for some people, I really do, and I'm not trying to put that down, like, a lot of people are struggling right now, they're struggling to put food on the table, they're struggling with the cost of, like, basic necessities. I'm not trying to shit on $100. I understand that for some people, that is a lot of money that they probably wouldn't just let fly out the window, but I wouldn't have spent the money if I didn't, like, have it to spend in the first place. And so for me, that money was not a big deal. I have money that I put aside that's like play money that I can do what I want. I didn't really care that much about it. And this woman is already making this out to be like she lost $100. It must be a tragedy. Well, no, I didn't even think about it because I didn't really care. And again, he offered to refund it. And I was like, nah. It's like, keep the change, bro. Like, you're doing good work, whatever. And she didn't care that she was scammed. I didn't feel like I was scammed. And that somehow asking about the results means we're obsessing over her. This behavior of hers will encounter more soon. And then like, so this apparently is the evidence that I'm a narcissist, is me saying here's a district creating gender and like, so I say here's a district creating gender and sexuality alliances in elementary school and creating checklists to make sure there's enough LGBTQ plus flag or flair in the classroom. And Carrie's cancel horde is always like, every single thing I say and do online, these people are like, Carlin is a narcissist. Every single thing I say and do online. And their response is I'm a narcissist. And so now it's like, I spend my own money on something. I didn't get the result that I wanted, but I didn't really care. And she's made a big, like, apparently this is proof I'm a narcissist. Okay, moving on. However, it's safe to say she didn't take it. No, I did take it. Because were she scammed, I was not scammed. I doubt she'd ever shut up about it. And she certainly wouldn't be love bombing HG Tudor repeatedly. Well, like I said, I don't think I'm love bombing the guy. You can't love bomb a narcissistic psychopath. Like, it's not a, guys, pro tip, it's not a good idea to love bomb a narcissistic psychopath. But I like this guy's content. Like I said, I am obsessed with this guy's content because it's that good. It's that good. And so yeah, I will talk about him if I damn well fucking please. Um and if she didn't take it and didn't like the results, again, would not be simping for a psychopath. Again, I did take it. I Hang on. Let me see. Fuck. I want to see. I want to see. Okay. I'm just going to show you guys this because this does not violate his rules. And again, if there is any type of person that I'm not going to piss off on the internet, it is a narcissistic psychopath, and he has rules around what I can show you of this information, and I'm sure as shit not pissing him off. But I can show you that this is the email that I sent him on November 14th with the narc detector results, and I asked him to diagnose me. And I'm not going to show private communication of him responding because I'm not going to disrespect him like that. But basically what he said was, you can't self-diagnose yourself. And so I was like, that kind of sucks. But like, whatever. And so she's wrong. I did take it. I did send it to him. I just never got a result. And so what can I really do about it? The fact that he doesn't want to give me a result is a reflection of how his processes work. and I can't control him, I'm not gonna shit talk him. A, because I'm not gonna shit talk a narcissistic psychopath, but B, why would I? Like, that just makes no sense. I love his work. It has been so helpful to me. So why would I allow, like, him not wanting to change the process for how he goes about evaluating these things? Like, why would I wanna give up the value of this guy's work to me in order to, like, I don't know, win points with a horde of lunatics on the internet? That just makes no sense. And so she's now gone on and on and on. Carlin loves HG Tudor, but she was obviously scammed by him because she gave him $100 whole and didn't complain about not getting the result that she wanted. And so that's proof that she's a narcissist. I mean, it makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. And then she's basically got, oh, this is a quote from what this guy's fucking books. Oh my god, they're so good. What I love about HG Tudor is he, like, pulls no punches in his books. His books are the best. Like, I've listened to, like, his content on a variety of platforms. The books are the best. And so he wrote this thing basically saying that he believes in God because if there were no God, then how is it that I've been chosen to be as special as I am? I'm like, "Oh, I love it. I love it." And so I posted that to Twitter, and apparently that's proof that I'm a narcissist. I mean, okay. So let's see. So let's do this for funsies because I doubt anyone is going to throw $100 for this. Number one, you needn't look past her Twitter bio for this one. Really, I literally wrote the book. Sure, Jan, tell us how it was a bestseller again. Oh, wait. All right. So apparently, her first several tweets are about how I'm a narcissist because I like reading about narcissism. Let's look at what she has. Now we've moved into another category. So, trait one of a narcissist is a grandiose sense of self importance. This is a belief that your contribution and presence are essential to the happiness, success, or equilibrium of other people and any enterprises or relationships. The project would have tanked if I hadn't been on the team. If it weren't for me, who knows where my spouse would end up? And apparently, my Twitter bio is proof that I'm a narcissist. Now, let's read my Twitter bio. I say I'm a psychologist. That is a statement of fact. I'm a rabble rouser, which is also a statement of fact. I'm a truth teller, statement of fact. I'm a knitter, statement of fact. I'm a writer, statement of fact. I'm a New Hampshire libertarian, statement of fucking fact. And I literally wrote the book about fighting back against the woke left, actively unwoke, which is a statement of effing fact. Do I say anything about being bestseller anything? I mean, I'm happy with the book sales. Like, I have nothing to complain about. But, like, do I say I'm a bestseller? I mean, I don't even know what that means. So apparently my Twitter bio is proof that I have a grandiose sense of self-importance because I say in my Twitter bio that I wrote a book that I, in fact, did write. So apparently these people think that me having a bio saying what I did is proof that I'm a narcissist. And our next piece of evidence is, oh, this is from 2020. Let me see. Oh, holy shit. You know what this was? Oh, check this out. This is when, so back in 2020, oh, she went into the archives on this one. Back in 2020, I was doing this training for this youth organization that they'd hired me to do a workshop. Now, what happens when people hire me to do a workshop is they pay me money and then I deliver a workshop. I'm not responsible for marketing the workshop. I'm not responsible for getting people to buy tickets to the workshop. I am just responsible for showing up and giving the workshop, okay? So I was doing this 4-part workshop with this youth professional development organization about the psychology of office politics. I had done the first session, and then after I did the first session, you're not gonna believe this. I got retweeted by Donald Trump. I did the first session, I got retweeted by Donald Trump, and then I got an email from this organization saying, "We don't need you to, finish this project." But I had written into the contract that if they canceled the project after we started it, that they still owed me the full fee, and so I did 25% of the work, and I got paid 100% of my fee, and it was all because Trump retweeted me, and then they canceled the project, and I still got paid. And so I tweeted, "Got an email from someone in my training that got canceled yesterday about how they always talk about being inclusive but acts decidedly exclusive in their programs. Now that exclusion is costing them thousands of dollars and depriving their members of good information. That's a pity." And so this person, who is, I think, one of the people responding, like, who canceled it, "You need to let it go." I mean, let what go? I got paid the full fee for doing 25% of the work. Only 4 people went to your training, even though it was free to members and paid for by the nonprofit. Again, it is not my responsibility to do marketing for the training. It is not my responsibility that you guys failed to do marketing for the thing you paid me thousands of dollars for. They were being kind by stating a difference of values, but it was your product that didn't meet the standard. Well, then what does that make you for still paying me? The other 3 attendees will survive without it. I mean, the product that I was doing for them, I have been paid 5 figures to do as keynotes at conferences all around the country. But I'm the one that needs to let it go because you got pissed off that Donald Trump retweeted me. All right. But I don't know how this is proof that I'm a narcissist, because I did get an email from someone saying they were really disappointed. And I was like, what do you want? What can I really do? Like, they canceled it. Like, I had nothing I can do about it. Um, but I ultimately won that one because I got paid my full fee. Anyway, this is not proof that I'm a narcissist. I'm sorry. All right, next up. Number 2. Well, she reached her fundraising goal. But are there 10,000 parents or even 10,000 people, period, who want to work with her? Given what she brought to the table in the last tweet, X doubt. I remember when she ran for governor of New Hampshire and lost real bad. Okay, there's a couple components to this. Number 1 is that yes, okay, so this is what she's saying I'm a narcissist for. Preoccupation with fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty, or ideal. This describes the belief that you are capable of exceptionally high levels of achievement, even when your skills or ability provide no evidence of this being possible. If I get the job, I'll soon be writing my own paycheck and running the company. I'll ace the last LSTAT and get a free ride to Yale Law School. Wait and see. All right, let's see what her evidence is. So she's okay. So what she's talking about in this is, so she reached her fundraising goal given, okay. So what she's talking about is my school's exposed program, which I crowdfunded for, and I set a fundraising goal of $10,000. I met that crowdfunding goal in 4 days. 4 days was all it took me. And then I ended up raising about $16,000 in the whole crowdfunding period. And I'm working on launching Schools Exposed. It should get launched really in the next couple of days. I'm a little bit late on it. I'm slightly behind schedule. That is very true. Because I got sick and my voice got all fucked up and I just wasn't able to record the things that I needed to record. And now I am recording again. And so it got put up a little bit, but that's common with crowdfunding campaigns. And so, like, it is what it is. My community is very understanding, and they're being very patient with a little extra time because the program is going to get launched. It's just a couple weeks delayed. It's not that big of a deal. And so I raised $10,000 in 4 days. I raised $16,000 overall. And but what she's showing you here, this is my Patreon. Now, I don't do that much with Patreon. I have Patreon because I wanted to offer Patreon as an option. And there are people who support me on Patreon. There are 10 people who support me on Patreon. Guess what? I have over 10 times that on my Substack. I have over, I don't know, 50 times that on my locals. I have people who make one-time gifts. I have people who gave me there were people who gave me thousands of dollars in that crowdfunding campaign. But she's using my Patreon, which is the thing that I promote the least, that I don't talk about that much, that I don't put a lot of effort into putting people on. She's using that as proof that no one wants to support my work. Well, that's just provably not true. I'm sorry. Let's see. Oh, yeah. This is from my crowdfunding campaign where I said I have a goal to reach 10,000 parents. I reached 10,000 people in a single day on my Substack. Let me see. Hang on. Let me see if I can show you this without giving you information I don't want you to have, which is like sometimes there's just private information. Let me see. Let me see. What the fuck? Okay. So this is okay. Let me show you this. So she thinks I can't reach 10,000 people. These are my Substack numbers. I reached let me make this a little bit bigger. I reached 11,800 people on Sunday on my Substack. 6,800 there, 9,900 the other day. There are days 13,000, 12,000, and this woman thinks that I can't reach 10,000 people. She's questioning whether or not I can reach 10,000 people, and she's saying that I'm just claiming that I can reach that number. Receipts, baby. Receipts. And then the governor's race. You guys know that for people who don't follow my channel regularly, I got nominated to be the Libertarian Party nominee for governor of New Hampshire. I said from the very beginning it wasn't a real campaign. And then on top of that, this bitch Kelly Halderson, who isn't even a fucking libertarian, got out of state money. They were so pissed that they nominated me for governor. They got out of state money to fund this woman to get enough signatures to put her on the ballot as a libertarian, even though she's not a libertarian. And sadly, by luck of the draw, it's basically a coin flip. Kelly was listed at the top of the ballot for the libertarian candidate, and I was listed under Kelly. So that's how Kelly Halderson got more votes than me in New Hampshire. I wasn't really campaigning. It wasn't really serious. There are videos on the internet of me saying that this is not a serious thing. There are videos on the internet of me saying I'm not fundraising, I'm not campaigning, I am just a name on the ballot. That was all it was. It was always going to be that way. Go back and look at any of my videos on the topic. I hate to break this to anyone. It was not a surprise to anyone that I lost the race for governor. Least of all me. I didn't even want to be governor in the first place. So she's using this as like some sort of evidence that I have a preoccupation with fantasies. There are quite literally videos of me on the internet saying, I don't want to be governor and I'm absolutely not going to be the next governor of New Hampshire. So her proof doesn't match the claim she's making. And it's in the most ridiculous possible way. All right. Yikes, dude. Like, are you guys finding this as hilarious as I do? because I genuinely find this hilarious that her supposed evidence is so fucking ridiculous. All right. Tweet number 9 out of 40. Yikes, dude. Okay, maybe she'll fare better with number 3. No, actually, maybe not. Someone reading this, I'm sure, has the screenshot of her talking about how Dave Rubin loves me. I mean, there was a time when Dave Rubin did appreciate me very, very much. That time is past, just like I don't really appreciate him that much anymore. But that's all right. People grow and they change, and it's the way it goes. Or shots from her walkaway days. How many times has she said she's curating her audience? I do curate my audience. But let's see what she's claiming. Okay. In order to be a narcissist, I have a belief that he or she is special and unique and can only be understood by or should associate with other special or high status people or institutions. This resembles the I want to talk to the manager mindset, and the narcissists firmly believe that they should only have to deal with the top level person in any institution. They try to insert themselves in high status cliques, meetings, and social groups, even if they're unwanted. I'm sorry. Was I the one that invited myself on all of the shows in 2020? Because I had never even heard of half of these people. So she's claiming because I was on Dave Rubin's show a couple of times, and because I was on like Glenn Beck and I was on Fox News and I was on all of these things, she's claiming that this is proof that I inserted myself where I wasn't belonged. I was invited on all of those effing shows. And then she's got this tweet saying, I don't know how to talk to normies anymore. That is actually literally true. I don't know how to talk to normies anymore. It's like talking to a literal sheep. They may nod and smile, but they really don't understand what I'm saying, and I really don't understand how they can't see it. It's all happening right in front of them and they can't see it. This is about not being able to talk to people who don't follow politics, which I'm sorry. I don't think this is going to offend anyone here. But I can't do that anymore. I can't. I have nothing in common with these people. My head is in this stuff all day every day, but this is not about saying they're bad people. But she want like it's just like it's mind-boggling to me how this woman doesn't get this. No, it's not really. She's a raging moron. So she's saying that I only want to associate with high status people, and the fact that I say I curate my audience is evidence of that. Then why have I told basically all of these people to fuck off? I mean, I just don't know what to say. Yes, yes, I became a libertarian because I wanted to associate with high status people. You caught me. It's true. I became a libertarian because I thought that being a libertarian would get me into all of the cool kids clubs in Washington, D.C. Mandatory carry working, but keep fighting. I appreciate that, mandatory carry. I hope you have a good night. All right, let's see. Number 4. Again, refer. Oh, this is my favorite. This is the one, guys, where I knew I had to talk about this because this is my absolute favorite evidence that I am a narcissist. It's the fucking best. Okay, let's see. The need for excessive admiration. The narcissist isn't satisfied with a compliment or a pat on the back when others offer them as a part of natural conversation. They demand that others admire their appearance, accomplishments, skills, or existence. The admiration of others is what feeds the narcissist. So she's saying my Twitter bio is evidence that I need excessive admiration. Again, let's just like pull up my Twitter bio real quick. So my Twitter bio, which says psychologist, rabble rouser, truth teller, knitter, writer, New Hampshire libertarian. I literally wrote the book about fighting back against the woke left. That's proof that I need excessive admiration. Okay. But then she says she's not a clinical psychologist, by the way, but an organizational one. I have literally never said I'm a clinical psychologist. And then she says, also, refer to her obsession with AI images of herself, one of which she offers on sale as a t-shirt. So the fact that I have created AI images of myself is proof that I am indeed a narcissist. And you know what's even more proof? The fact that I took my Socialism Saturday icon and I put it on a t-shirt to sell it is absolute proof that I am a narcissist. And I'm really surprised she didn't say anything about the join the cult underneath it, because how that escaped her list of evidence against me is like beyond. I'm literally selling a t-shirt that says join my cult and she doesn't mention it. I mean, come on. That's just lazy. That's lazy. And I'm going to take a sec to shout out my fellow Horde members. Feel free to add to this. I'm a little tired right now and slow right now, and I know y'all get more receipts from me, so don't be shy. So in the middle, I am offended as the narcissist that I clearly and obviously am. I am offended that she would take time out in a thread that is about me to write about herself. Who the fuck does she think she is? She's taking time out of a whole 40 tweet thread about me to write about her. That's what I would say if I was actually a narcissist. Now, what's going to happen with what I just said is her unhinged Twitter horde is going to clip what I just said out of context, and they're going to post a clip on Twitter saying, "Can you believe that Carlin said that she wasn't allowed to talk about herself in a thread about Carlin? That's more proof that she's a narcissist." I just gave them the bait and they're going to lap it up. And we're just going to watch what happens. But anyway. Number 5. She literally crowdfunded $16,000 to give parents public knowledge. Yes, I did. In her own words, she wants your money for what you can do for free. She also has a reputation for not being nice to service workers, whether it's Dunkin' Donuts or steak. Well, they are correct that I can be quite a bitch if a waiter in a restaurant doesn't do their fucking job. And I'm paying that waiter a lot of money to do their job. That is absolutely true. I am guilty of wanting my food served properly when I am paying money to have my food served properly. I admit that. But let's see. Sense of entitlement. Narcissists may believe that success takes hard work, but only for others, not them. They totally believe that they deserve the best tickets, the top score, the nicest room, or even the best seat in the house. They don't even have to verbalize this belief, as their behavior and actions clearly communicate their sense of entitlement. Okay, proof of my sense of entitlement is that I raised $16,000 to show parents how to find out what the schools are teaching their kids with public information. That's proof that I'm entitled? Quite literally, no one had to give me money. Did I lie to anyone about what I was doing? Did I say, I'm going to give you secret mystical evidence that isn't available publicly? No, I literally said, I will train 10,000 parents how to use public information to figure out what the schools are teaching their kids. And people are like, that sounds like a great idea. And they gave me money to do it. And I'm very grateful for that. But like, how is this entitlement? I said, if you give me money, I will do X, Y, B, and Z. And people were like, "Yes, please take our money. This is really, really valuable." And she's like, "She wants your money for what you can do for free." Now, I've always been pretty blunt in that if you don't want to be a part of the Schools Exposed program, you don't have to be. I do live investigation streams. You can watch my live investigation streams and kind of figure it out. But if you think this is a valuable thing, which people did to the tune of $16,000, what the fuck is the problem? Okay. This one, she doesn't have any evidence. Let's see. Interpersonally exploitative behavior. Narcissists see other people as tools. Their lack of self awareness is paralleled by a lack of awareness that others exist as individuals with feelings, needs, and desires. All right, let's see what her proof is that I do this. Like many narcissists. Oh, they're going to talk about you guys. Oh, check this out. This is where she says that every single person who likes my content is in a cult. Like many narcissists, Carlin has a troop of flying monkeys. Whether they're being sent to spy on people or harass people during live streams, there are a few morally ambiguous characters out there who jump at her demand. Now, I would oh, she's tweeting about me right now? Hi, Tina. Hi. Hi, Tina. Are you enjoying the stream, Tina? Yes, Bot is a flying monkey. I just want to ask the chat. Have I ever forced anyone to do anything? Have I put a spell on all of you? Am I forcing you all to be here right now? Does anyone feel? Yes. Tina, why are you calling Cider, who is a black man, a monkey? Are you being a racist, Tina? I feel like I agree, Cider. My God, I would be offended if I was you. Well, not really, because, you're stronger than that. But yeah, it does sound a little racist, doesn't it? It does. It does. Yep. Yep. So congratulations, you're all in a cult. All right, let's see. A lack of empathy. Well, yeah, I mean, it is okay, let's read and then I will do commentary. This is the cold inability to accurately recognize how other people feel. This speaks to the narcissist's lack of emotional awareness or depth. It is not always that narcissists don't care about another's feelings. It is just that they are unaware that others might be having those feelings. Well, here's the thing. I am completely and totally aware that this group of unhinged lunatics has feelings about me. They express their feelings quite literally every single day on the internet. It is not that I am unaware of their feelings. It is that I no longer give a flying fuck how these people feel about anything. The minute that these people started doxing my friends and getting me deplatformed and mass reporting every single thing that I was doing and trying to break up my marriage and generally making my life a pretty miserable existence for a good solid year and a half. The minute that these people did that is the minute that I quite frankly stopped caring about how they felt in any given situation. I don't think I'm out of line here. I'm sorry, I just don't. Kate says, a Loudoun County flying monkey right here. You're providing a service for all of my friends in Loudoun and surrounding counties that won't do the work. I do appreciate that, Kate. Thank you so much for the super chat. So, she says she has an entire online persona dedicated to this. I mean, it's not an online persona, it's just a website, and is obsessed with the concept of triggering. Also, thought she'd dig into me at a low point in my physical health. Joke's on you, lol cow. I'm not sleeping with you, so I don't care what you think about my looks. And so her evidence for this is my site, The Art of the Trigger. You can find the website at artofthetrigger.com. Oh, Chrissy Mare's Simp Bitch is responding as well. Hi, Frank. Hi. Shouldn't you be tending to all of Chrissy's needs right now? So her evidence that I am lacking in empathy is my website, artofthetrigger.com, in which I talk about triggering people, and I enjoy talking about triggering people. And it is a satirical self-help website with real self-help. I feel like I give really good advice on Art of the Trigger. I don't write it all the time, just when I feel like it, when the inspiration hits. But I enjoy it and I do not apologize. And so her evidence here is the person triggering you isn't the bad guy. You're the one who is too emotionally fragile to control your own emotions. True. Let's normalize people taking responsibility for working out their baggage rather than normalizing people who project their baggage onto others. I don't think I'm being unfair here. I'm sorry. Your baggage is your problem. You are not a good person if you are projecting your baggage onto other people and holding other people responsible for your baggage. This is like self-help 101. Take responsibility for your own shit. But apparently that's proof that I'm a narcissist, that I'm giving basic, rudimentary self-help advice that is quite literally in every fucking self-help book on any bookshelf that you will find. All right. I mean, I guess. And her other proof is that, yeah, I insulted her looks and I called her woke because she is woke. I'm sorry. Again, Tina, because I know you're watching and obsessing over this right now. If you don't want me to say things about you, Tina, then you need to stop interfering in my life. Follow HG Tudor's excellent advice about going no contact. Go and actually listen to what he says about it so that you understand what it is, because you don't. But if you are not willing to go no contact and remove yourself from my life, I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want about you, bitch, and I don't really care how you feel about it, because you are an unhinged fucking psychopath. No offense to good psychopaths like HG Tudor. I mean, I shouldn't probably say he's good. He's actually a really kind of evil person. He's not an evil person. He just does evil shit. And I say that with the utmost respect. No disrespect, no criticism. I admire it. I am thrilled that he writes about it. So I'm not comparing the two. But no, Tina, I'm not going to feel bad about your feelings about the situation. You were the one, Tina, that posted the picture on the internet in the first place. If you didn't want people to talk about how you are a crazy bitch that cut off all your hair, that you should not have tweeted about it, Tina. God. Pro tip, guys, don't tweet pictures of yourself after you've shaved your head for no good reason and talk about how nuts you are if you don't want people to talk about it. It's really quite simple. Number 8. Let's see. Envy of others, or belief that others are envious of him or her. This describes the narcissist's constant comparison of themselves to others, wishing for themselves the success others experience, and the false belief that everyone is envious of them. That's how they keep their egos intact. They perceive as normal or subpar would represent an ego wound they could not handle. Let's see what her evidence is. Okay, I retweeted someone So this person tweeted a meme that said, "Great minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss events, small minds discuss people." And I retweeted this and I said, "I know a lot of people who are obsessed with me and talk about me all day every day that this absolutely applies to." This woman, in the midst of writing a 40 tweet Twitter thread about how I'm a narcissist, is taking time out to say, "How dare Carlin think that people talk about her?" Can we just like wrap our heads around the insanity of this? These people talk about me all day, every day. They follow an account that's stalking me all day, every day. They think about me and obsess about me all day, every day, publicly on the internet. But the minute that I say I have a horde of unhinged lunatics who are obsessed with me, then I am just saying that they are envious of me because I'm pointing out a fact. All right, let's see. The irony in the second picture is that she shit talks no less than 5 different people a day. Well, no, there's no receipts for that, is there? But everyone is obsessed with her, you guys. She even stalks and likes the replies of people to gather crumbs for her delusions, so desperate. Is there any proof that I'm shit talking 5 plus people a day? I'm not saying I never shit post. I absolutely you're saying exactly. She just posted a 40 tweet thread about me, and she's saying that I'm the one that's obsessed with her. All right, moving on. And number 9, speaking of tweets and replies, you can just view this in any given conversation she has on Twitter. I don't have examples at hand at the moment for everything here. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Fortunately, she's dumb enough to document. Okay, what is she saying? Demonstrations of arrogant or haughty behaviors. If demonstrating arrogant or haughty behaviors is all that is required to be a narcissist, then the entire website of Twitter would be a narcissist. The only reasonable thing to do on Twitter is to shitpost, is to read the news and shitpost, and that's it. Those are the only things Twitter is useful for. Occasionally, you can make stuff go viral. Okay, fine. But you're telling me I can't demonstrate arrogant or haughty behaviors on Twitter? Have you ever been on Twitter? Arrogance and conceit are traits that are often noticed first in narcissists. This is evidenced by disrespect for the positions or rights of others, and the narcissist's willingness to demand or expect others will bend to their will. Like exploitative behaviors, this behavior can be easily noticed without the narcissist having to say a word. They'll break the lines, use patronizing tones, and act as if they have every right to take away what is willfully someone else's. Okay, what does she have evidence? So this person replied to me saying, "Carlin, you've been the most toxic person to enter this space. You've picked fights with all the top personalities." That's not true. And everyone has worked with you personally, has something or other. So this person responded to me calling me toxic. And I retweeted this person. I said, "These are the lies that people tell when they want to convince you I'm crazy. I'm the crazy one. Every time I explain to you which of your influencers is toxic. And yet for some reason, I was able to predict the results of the midterm 6 months before them and have a thriving community." Oh, HG Tudor did a video showing the woke movement is narcissistic. Hang on a second. Let me look at this, Sin. I don't think the woke movement is narcissistic, though. I think it has traits of narcissism. I don't think it's fully narcissistic. Let me just look this up real quick. Woke censorship. All right. Maybe that'll be worth listening to at some point. I mean, it definitely is worth listening to. I shouldn't say maybe. Obviously, everything that HG Tudor does is phenomenal, and it's worth listening to all of it. I just don't always have time to keep up, which is my failing. It's not his. Like I said, HG Tudor is like the last person in the world I'm fucking with. Everything HG Tudor does is perfect, all right? It's all perfect and good. I'm sure he does have some really good points. He always has really good points. His points are always amazing. Angel Eyes, Based Carlin, keep up the excellent work, Doc. You deserve a medal. Thank you, Angel Eyes. I really do appreciate it. All right. So this is proof that I exhibit arrogant. I will have you know, I have done much more arrogant and haughty things on Twitter than this. If this is their proof that I am arrogant and haughty on Twitter, like they're not even trying. There are days that I can be a raging nightmare on Twitter, and I know that. And I don't apologize. It's Twitter. Get a fucking grip. Her own behaviors religiously, that doesn't even make sense. Her own behaviors religiously because she doesn't see herself as a narcissist. You're correct. I do not see myself as a narcissist. I'm sorry. I don't. In fact, as a lower level narcissist, she can never become self aware, according to her own beloved mentor in Psychopathy 101. Well, H.G. Tudor does absolutely say that if you're a lower or mid level narcissist, you're not becoming aware. Do you know what else H.G. Tudor says? That if you ever seriously consider if you are a narcissist, that means you are not a narcissist. And I absolutely have seriously considered it. I have talked to multiple clinical psychologists about this. I really have, because there were times when I was getting called a narcissist so much by these people that they really got in my head, and I was kind of like, am I a narcissist? Like, am I? Like, really? And I really did seriously consider it, which HG Tudor would tell you is proof that you're not a fucking narcissist, which, by the way, is exactly the same thing that the other clinical psychologists told me. They basically laughed. They're like, Carlin, you're not a fucking narcissist. Shut up. But I think what's so funny about this is, check this out. So this is proof that I don't see myself as a narcissist. What is happening here is that, so these people think that everyone who says nice things about me on Twitter is me in disguise. And so what is happening here probably is that this woman thinks that this person is me, even though this person is not me at all. So this person responds to HG Tudor and me and says, fantastic. Clearly from the number of videos and books HG Tudor has produced, he's super busy. One thing I'll be searching for an answer on is whether there's any benefit for the lesser mid-level to become aware that they are a narcissist. And he says they cannot become aware, which he's talked about extensively, which is true. But again, if she'd actually listened to his videos, he has also said that if you consider whether or not you're a narcissist, that is proof in and of itself that you're not a narcissist. Sorry, Tina. Too bad, so sad. The very fact that I took HG Tudor's narc detector, even if he wouldn't answer because I didn't follow his like, he doesn't think I'm capable of self-diagnosing, fine. I'm sure he has very valid points for that. But the very fact that I took the fucking narc detector and emailed it to him is proof in and of itself that I am not a narcissist. The very fact that I am reading a 40 tweet Twitter thread about me being a narcissist is proof in and of itself that I am not a narcissist. This stream right here would not be happening if I was a lower or mid-range narcissist. A lower or mid-range narcissist would not do a stream on the internet in which they say, apparently I'm a narcissist. That would never happen. In a billion years, that would never happen. And she's welcome to confirm all this with HG Tudor. She can set up a consultation with him and give him money, and he will tell her exactly the same thing that I'm saying now. And I know that because I have read and listened to enough of his material to know what he would say. Because HG Tudor is not a lower or mid level narcissist, HG Tudor is the ultra narcissist, and he is completely self aware. So he is a different, higher category of narcissist than what we're talking about right now. And I do believe he is what he says he is. I really do. Hang on, guys. I just got to pour myself some water. I am not drinking beer. I am not drinking vodka. I am drinking cherry bubbly. I was actually drinking blackberry bubbly, and this is going to switch over to cherry. Because I don't drink except on Fridays and Saturdays, usually. Or traveling, which I never do anymore. I didn't think this stream was going to take this long, if I'm honest about it. But, you know, we're in it. We're committed now. Gotta finish. Okay. If there's one thing Carlin loves to do, it's cry victim. From being evicted from the Ingleside Hotel to claiming she's been bullied and canceled all over the internet, this is absolutely her MO. You know what the ironic thing about her continuing to bring up the hotel bullshit that happened 2.5 years ago? These people talk more about the hotel than I ever did. Because when I got wrongfully evicted from a hotel in the middle of the night while I was on sleeping medication, not Ambien, NyQuil pills, and put out on the side of the road when I was barely able to stand with all my shit, that was a deeply traumatic experience for me. And so I did what adults do, and I went to trauma therapy for months to bite PTSD, to nip PTSD in the bud, because I was already starting to develop symptoms of PTSD. I was not able to sleep in hotel rooms. I was traveling all the time. This was actually a pretty big problem. I went to trauma therapy. I worked out my baggage like adults do, and I don't talk about it because it doesn't make me feel good to talk about it. It brings up a lot of trauma for me. And so I was able to like not go down like the PTSD route, and I was able to get to a place where I was able to sleep in hotel rooms because I needed to do that. But I don't talk about this because it causes me fucking trauma. But these people talk about this on the internet all the time. These people are obsessed with me getting kicked out of this hotel wrongfully in the middle of the goddamn night. Of course, she doesn't have any proof. She has no proof that I talk about the hotel all the time because I don't talk about the hotel all the time. It's these people who are obsessed with it. So apparently I'm playing victim for something that I never talk about. She's got no evidence there. She loves to talk about how other people bring bad things on themselves. Lyme disease and kidney failure, for example. Oh, Sin, she's talking about you here, I bet. But nothing is ever her fault. So here she's got, there seems to be questions regarding if I'm still doing my school's exposed program. I am. The problem is every time I post publicly, Carrie Smith's cancel horde tries to deplatform me. Rest assured it will launch as scheduled in January. Well, it didn't launch in January because I got sick, but it will launch soon. These people literally got me deplatformed off of Kickstarter. I originally launched the school's exposed crowdfunding campaign on Kickstarter. I was approved on Kickstarter. They manually reviewed and approved my project before I launched it. And then I launched it. And then these people mass reported me to Kickstarter to get them to ban my project after I'd already launched it. So I don't think I'm going like out of the realm of like sanity to do what I'm doing a little bit on the down low, to make sure I have all my backups in place, to make sure I'm not giving these people any opportunity to get me deplatformed, because they've literally gotten me deplatformed for that exact project before. Sorry, not sorry. In regards to Lyme disease, Lyme Lady absolutely gave herself Lyme disease. Lyme Lady absolutely milks the Lyme disease for all it's worth. Lyme Lady absolutely makes her Lyme disease worse. And I'm not sorry. I don't regret it. And Sin knows she's talking about her, and Sin isn't mad at me. This woman who is claiming that I insulted Sin about Sin needing a new kidney. This woman has literally gone after Sin, who is a senior citizen, several times just for being in my community. And you want me to believe that my spiritual beliefs make me a narcissist? Okay, sure. You're attacking senior citizens who are veterans live on the internet. To the point where Sin blocked her, as she should have done. Oh, gosh. All right, let's see. This is another classic and is the meat and bones of her attacks on Carrie Smith. As a reminder, I have a literal website about how Carrie Smith has been harassing me for 2 straight years with full receipts of everything this woman has said and done. But me showing the receipts apparently is proof I'm a narcissist. Okay, I'm not allowed to show receipts. Otherwise, I'm a narcissist. Carlin has literally written an entire Substack called Surviving Carrie Smith. Yes, I have. And has been known to tweet about Carrie up to 40 times in one day. Okay, give me evidence of that. Do you guys want to see? Let me show you this. This is every single tweet that Carrie Smith has sent about me over the last 2 years. Every single one of these tweets are about me. Every single one of them is about me. You expect me to feel bad that I've pointed out that Carrie Smith tweets about me all the fucking time? Because every single one of these tweets is about me. Every single one of them. And you can go and look for yourself about what all these tweets say. Every single one of them. We're not even halfway down the page yet. Every single one of them is about me, coming from them. You can go and read the rest yourself if you want. You can see we're not even halfway down the page yet. And you expect me to feel sorry for pointing out that you people are obsessed with me? That's the proof that I'm a narcissist, that I pointed out that you people are obsessed with me in a way that you couldn't sneak around? Contrast this with Carrie's mentions of Carlin. Oh yes, let's contrast this with Carrie's mentions of Carlin. Let's contrast this with every single time this bitch has tweeted about me over the last 2 years. Let's talk about the fact that Carrie Smith literally wrote an essay calling me her abusive mother. Sure, but I'm Darvo. Okay, with no evidence, no receipts. All right. And you'll see who the real obsessed psycho is here. Carlin has also repeatedly gone after Carrie's pastor. Yes, I have. And has openly mocked their faith. You're goddamn right I have. For an all in comparison, there's an obsession scroll. Okay, again. I'm sorry. I don't apologize. Me pointing out that you idiots are harassing me is not proof of narcissism in any way. Nice try. Here's another daily activity of our lolcow protagonist. We are all triggered. We are all never her. She would certainly never cry on camera or do a 7-hour live stream about people or make cruel parody accounts. She's better than that. Okay. So what's her proof? Her proof is that I tweeted, "Do you think it's a coincidence that every person excuse me, do you think it's a coincidence that every person who has ever made a video about how awful I am is a toxic failure of a human being? One of them is literally begging people to pay his moving expenses. As we speak, he's so broke. But I'm the crazy one? Sure. Well, Let's just check in on that. Mike Harlow quite literally is begging people to pay his moving expenses. Right now. This is live on the internet. He's begging people to pay his moving expenses. Mike Harlow has made multiple bullshit posts and videos about me, saying that I'm the horrible, toxic person. Well, Mikey, I'm not failing at a crowdfunding campaign to beg people to pay for my moving expenses. And if you want to talk about entitlement, when I did a crowdfunding campaign, I offered people a product that they would eventually be able to consume and use to improve their lives and the lives of their kids. A product that is getting built right now as we speak. When you did a crowdfunding campaign, you asked people to pay your moving expenses. And you want to tell me that I'm the entitled one? I offered people a transaction that they could give me money and receive something valuable in return. You are literally begging people to pay your moving expenses, and you think that doesn't make you entitled? Okay, sure. All right. And then there's this carry. Okay, so my community over the course of years, I cannot tell you how many times people in my community have tried to create Carrie Smith parody accounts. It has happened probably half a dozen times because my community got pissed off at watching me go through this for 2 fucking years. And so every once in a while, a Carrie Smith parody account, she did an addendum. Oh God, I'm going to have to refresh. So every once in a while, a Carrie Smith parody account would pop up from someone in my community, and I put a stop to that shit real quick. I would always tell the people creating them, do not do this, don't sink to their level, and the parody account would go away. Well, guess what? After 2 years of doing this, I got effing sick of it, and when this Carrie Smith parody account popped up, I didn't do anything to stop it. But I didn't create it. Weren't me. It was a member of my community. I do know who created it. I no longer care. And this is what happens when you harass someone for 2 years on the internet. I'm sorry. Don't dish it out if you can't take it. Yeah, I'm getting real tired here, but we're almost done. I believe these two have been covered already in various ways, especially the smear campaign. I've lost track of how many people she's launched those at this point. As for gaslighting, try calling her out. So apparently, proof that I'm a narcissist is a description of a smear campaign and a description of gaslighting, but there's no receipts. If I'm always engaging in smear campaigns and gaslighting, then why is there no receipt showing me engaging in smear campaigns and gaslighting if it's just so like easy to find the evidence of it? On any threads where she's been exposed in plain sight as an abuser, and she'll tell you it was photoshopped. They did Photoshop things, or it's not a big deal, or that it was taken out of context. Yes, they've taken many things out of context. She denies any and all wrongdoings. And now I want to talk about why. I think it's important that we continue to expose her and document her shit behavior as she's done here. How have I been exposed in this thread? How precisely have I been exposed in this thread? I did a crowdfunding campaign that was successful. I have an accurate bio of myself in my Twitter bio. I use a tone on Twitter that some people don't like, but that other people do. How the fuck have I been exposed? Number one, her victims deserve to have the truth be known. Her savage smear attacks are cruel and unwarranted. By smear attacks, what she means is me literally posting screenshots of all of the shit they've said about me. That's what she means when she says smear campaign. Is I'm literally posting screenshots of the smear campaign they engaged in against me. And that's it. I'm literally just posting their public statements. And that's it. All right. Sorry for the delay in the rollout here. My piece of shit phone kept freezing, and now I'm on a laptop. Anyway, the aforementioned targets, all of whom she worked with at one point. I didn't work with Deb. I never worked with Deb. Are all intelligent and vital voices to expose and eradicate the woke. I'm sorry. Okay. So this one is irrelevant. We're not even going to acknowledge him because he's so irrelevant that it's not even worth mentioning. Carrie has what the fuck does Carrie do to expose the woke? Carrie does a show where she talks about pop culture on the internet. I mean, I'm serious. What is Carrie Smith doing these days to expose the woke? 3 years ago, this was true. 3 years ago, Carrie was doing a regular show to help expose people to what this is. It's not true anymore. She's doing shows about pop culture. Who cares? Deb Thillman is crazy. Mike Harlow does nothing. And the other ones are relevant. Yeah, Caleb, the people accusing you of gaslighting and smear campaigns were the people who just smeared and gaslit Eliza. That's exactly right. Exactly these same people were also involved in the Eliza Blue pylon because, of course, they were. Exactly. Not credible people. These are vital voices to expose and eradicate the woke ideology that's been infiltrating our lives. They all have one thing in common. They are smarter and far more likable than she is, and she sees with jealousy over it. Okay, have any of these people written a book? Have any of these people done a successful crowdfunding campaign? Have any of these people broken national news stories that have gotten tens of millions of views? I mean, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back here too much, but I think my record is pretty clear about this. And I don't apologize for being good at this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry it offends your fragile sensibilities, Tina, as you're obviously watching right now. I'm sorry that I broke the Coke Be Less White story and you guys didn't, and I got 30 million views on it. I am sorry that I'm the one that broke the Burlington grooming story along with my community and got millions of eyes on that. I am sorry that I've written a book that you haven't. I'm sorry that I have a successful Substack publishing about this stuff that you don't have. I'm sorry that people like my content more than they like yours. I'm sorry. I don't really know what you want me to say. The fact that I am better at this than you guys is not proof that I am a narcissist, and I would like some explanation for what I'm jealous about. Yes, well, in their world, if I strive for success and to be good at what I do, that is apparently a bad thing. Number 2, it's popular for people who are not experienced with narcissistic abuse to insist you should just ignore them and they'll go away. It's called gray rocking, they'll say, with a know it all sense of smug superiority. She literally just described Carrie. Carrie does that all the time. It's great in theory, dog. But with all due respect, you don't know shit. Yes, gray rocking is a valid tactic for personal relationships. You should absolutely go no contact with narcissistic relatives or ex partners, although this will not stop the narcissist. It's been 12 years since I went no contact with my abuser. She hasn't quit, and she won't until she's dead. I am sure of it. In this case, however, I mean, again, I just have to, like, ask. She's supposed to be writing a thread about me. If I was really a narcissist, I'd be like, why are you taking over the thread about me to write about yourself? Like, why is she writing about herself in a thread that's supposed to prove that I'm a narcissist? I feel as a narcissist, Tina, I feel a little offended by this. You should be focusing all your energy and attention on me, and you should be getting none of it to yourself. If I was a narcissist, that would actually be my attitude. She hasn't quit and she won't until she's dead. I'm sure of it in this case. However, we are discussing a very real predator who is more than capable of preying somewhat successfully on frightened, desperate parents who see no one else to turn to. So I'm a predator because I did a crowdfunding program that no one forced anyone to give money to. This is not a one on one. Just shut up and she'll have nothing to respond to situation. This is a person who could very well destroy the trust and goodwill of people who choose to follow her, who at this moment is misleading people because she is not remotely qualified to lead this fight. I write content and put it on the internet, and people can use it or not use it. They can follow or not. They can support my work if they think it's valuable. If they don't think it's valuable, they can go listen to someone else. I'm pretty sure a narcissist wouldn't say that, but sure. Okay, fine, whatever. She's taking money from people who trust her and giving them jack shit in return. She is a grifter and a fraud and deserves to be exposed as such. Do you know why the world is overrun by narcissists in power these days? Ah, the light has clicked on. I think I'm pretty upfront about what people are paying for when they support my work. I mean, if anyone feels otherwise, you're welcome to voice an opinion. I think I'm pretty clear. Yes, it's because for many people, excuse me, yes, it's because people, many people, decided to look the other way and ignore a problem they thought would eventually burn out. The problem climbed a ladder by manipulating the right people with either fear or flattery, and that problem is now multiplied across all areas of our lives: religion, education, business, politics. These predators climb to the top and start tearing down the things we hold important and dear. To ignore is to seal your own fate and the fate of your children, and to go down in history as a coward. Stand up to these bullies and say no. Keep receipts and document evidence. I'm still waiting for the receipts and the evidence. I would love the receipts and the evidence. Connect with other victims of the abuser and blow your whistles loud and hard. Know what you're up against. Also, remember the lower level narcissist cannot become aware. This is why evidence is so important. Carlin will read all of this and truly believe that I am the unhinged one. Yep. Yes. Yes. I have indeed read all of this, Tina, which is exactly what you wanted. And I do indeed believe you are the unhinged one. And I do not believe that I'm the only person who thinks that you're the unhinged one, Tina. She will believe that I am the unhinged one and that she is a victim. To be really effing clear, I am not a victim of these people. I am not a victim of anyone. You can't help that there are unhinged people on the internet. And I do not feel personally victimized by this thread at all. I think this is fucking hilarious. This is like the best laugh that I've had, like, all week. I was laughing about this so much today that I was like, I was trying to suppress doing the stream. I was like, "Don't do it, Carlin. Don't do it. They want the attention. Don't do it. Don't give it to them." And then it just like I had such a good day and I had such a good night tonight at the Vivek event, and I was like, "You know what? Fuck it. I'm doing it because it's funny, God damn it. It is funny." And she will probably write another 10 chapters in her Substack proclaiming it as such. No, I'm doing a stream on the internet instead. As her sole focus in life is defending her ego. That's predictable. Anyway, this is getting long and I'm tired and somehow replies aren't open. I'm going to change that. I may have mentioned my phone is a potato and I may have hit something unintentionally while trying to not lose the thread in progress. Thanks for reading all this. Remember, don't be a coward. The future literally depends on it. Oh, and an addendum 28 minutes ago. Excellent. I wish I could point out that I'm aware Carlin's behavior will not change. She will never gain self-awareness, and she will continue to lash out. The point is to expose her so that others see her for the compulsive liar that she is. Her meltdowns are just a satisfying byproduct. So this is what Tina has taken from our stream here today. That the biggest problem is that I will never become aware that I'm a narcissist, even though the very fact that I'm doing this stream is proof that I can't actually be a narcissist, because a lower or mid-level narcissist would never, ever, 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 ever do an entire 2 hour and 15-minute stream on the internet about how they're a narcissist. That would not happen. But really, the important thing is that I become aware of what I am, and I'm sure that they've really enjoyed the, meltdown that I've had tonight. Well, Sin, you know. Yes, isn't she John Morgan always looking on the bright side. She's so inspirational. She's gonna be in Chrissy Mare's Content House next time. She's gonna be doing jazz fingers on the internet, be like, "Content House, crazy edition." Anyway, I had to tell you guys about it. I'm sorry. I did. I found it hilarious. Did anyone else enjoy that? Am I just talking to myself? Let me know what you guys think in the chat. I'm just gonna check her Twitter real quick to see if she's been reeing. Oh, she's going on and on and on about me. Holy shit. Oh, she's tweeting about me right now. Wow. Check this out. A little bird told me a certain narcissist is having a tantrum and reeing about me right now. You might say I triggered a narcissist rage. I mean, okay, this is not actually what narcissist rage looks like, Tina. Struck a nerve, eh? So much for all the peace and positivity BS, or is this just for your Twitter personality? I think I was extremely positive on this stream. So what narcissistic rage is it's going to manifest in one of two ways. Either the person is going to get absolutely furious and lash out at the person, or they're going to get the silent treatment. I I don't I don't think I did either of those things. She seems to not. Yeah, she seems to do stuff on the internet. I don't really know what. She is kind of doing a narcissistic rage. No, well, she's not either. Like, this is not a narcissistic rage. A narcissistic rage is not going to occur over tweet. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream tonight. I had a great old time. I'll probably regret it in the morning. Yeah, Tina. If you really think I'm a narcissist, you need to go no contact. All of you need to go no contact with me. Pay HG Tudor money and he'll teach you how to do that. I will I will pay I if you guys wanna have a consultation with HG Tudor so he can explain to you what no contact is, I will pay for it. Let me see. Let me get his website up real quick. This is his website. Um, consultations. Audio consultation. Oh, hang on. Maybe this is in his knowledge vault. Consultation. I guess he's only doing audio and email consultations. Okay, fine. I will pay for either an email or an audio consultation. 1 hour. Okay, let's see. The process takes place either Skype, audio, or oh, here it is. We arrange a mutually convenient time to speak, and then you can detail your circumstances and get expert answers to it. Okay, guys, if I did oh, I'm not even showing you this. God damn it. Sorry. Guys, if I did a crowdfunding campaign, would you guys donate money to buy these people an audio consultation with HG Tudor to have him explain to them how to go no contact with me if I'm really the evil narcissist and how to handle me? I would okay, no, like true story, I would actually just pay for this myself. I don't actually need to crowdfund this. But I'm serious about this. Tina, Carrie, Chrissy Mare's bitch simp Frank. If any of you want to have a consultation with HG Tudor to have him explain to you how to handle me because I'm obviously a horrible, awful narcissist and I know I'm making your life miserable. I'm just my behavior is just it is the worst possible behavior in the history of behavior. If you guys want to have an audio consultation with HG Tudor so that he can explain to you exactly and precisely how to handle me, which will involve him telling you to go no contact and to stop talking about me and stop tweeting about me and stop following accounts stalking me and stop thinking about me and stop obsessing over me and stop stalking my social media, etc., 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 etc. If you would like to have an opportunity to speak to the world renowned expert on narcissism and have him explain this, I will pay for it. I will pay for all of you to do this. I will pay for each and every one of you to have your own private phone call or Skype consultation so that he can tell you exactly and precisely what to do. Yes, Patrick, I can link this. Well, so his main website is narcsite.com. I'm in his knowledge vault right now, which is where he sells all his stuff. He's got a lot of good stuff in his knowledge vault. Like a lot. This is like all his paywall. Look, you get well, that's at work, I guess. Let's see what else we can find. I've listened to all of the Knowing HG series. I can't talk about what's in it because that violates his rules, but his Knowing HG series is fascinating. Fascinating. The virtues of keeping your mouth shut. There's so much good stuff. I've listened to this one. That one's really good. See, don't be tempted to text back. Tina, leave the internet. The effect of no contact on the narcissist. Jenny says, this turned out better than I thought it would. I've not laughed this much in a while. See, I told you guys. Let's see, what else? The narcissist facade. Look how much like, I will pay for them to have any they can listen to a whole thing about smear campaigns. Let I will buy you guys this, the 10 commandments of going no contact. You need to understand what the 10 commandments of no contact are in this highly effective logic bulletin. Tina, I'll buy you this. I really will. A narcissist wouldn't offer that, Tina. How to handle the narcissist in court. This is one they all need. They all need this one specifically. This is $50. He explains it. 49 minutes. The hardest part of achieving freedom from the narcissist and the effects of the narcissist is to stop thinking about the narcissist. See, Carrie and all the rest of her horde, they desperately need this. This would be like I would spend this $50. I'm gonna. Oh shit! You know what I should do? No, I'm not gonna do that. What I kind of want to do is just buy it for them and just like send them like I'm sure I can do like a gift or something. I could send it to their email. So I can just like pre-purchase it and like send it to Carrie or Carrie's pastor. And I can tell Carrie's pastor, here, pass this on to Carrie. She really needs this. The hardest part is to stop thinking about the narcissist. They all need this. Whether it is the endless worrying minds of questions, the desire to plot revenge over the narcissist, worrying about being hoovered, or contemplating the golden period over and over, there are a multitude of ways in which the narcissist stays in your head. Not anymore. The assistance package addresses why the narcissist being in your head is the final battle of no contact, what drives you to keep thinking about the narcissist, how those thoughts manifest, how the process of such thoughts happen and how their duration is governed, how thinking about the narcissist is detrimental to your interests, how thinking about the narcissist leads to further risk from the narcissist, a comprehensive example of the dangers of thinking about the narcissist, where you are taken step by step through the process, why it is happening, what it means, and the effects, how to implement the techniques to prevent you from thinking about the narcissist, how these techniques work with examples, and the impact of these techniques on your thought process, emotional thinking, and emotional well-being. The assistance package is unique and effective and is an essential part of your no contact regime and achieving freedom from the narcissist. I will buy this for all of you. I'm not joking. That'd be a really good one. Let's see. Oh, he's got sex stuff too. I have actually listened to some of those. Some of them are really good. So HG Tudor, if you've never listened to him, he has like the voice of a fucking god. I'm serious about that. Women, don't listen to him unless you want to get sucked in. You will never be able to stop listening to this guy, I promise you. But he has in his paywall content. Where is it? Where is it? He's got all the different types of narcissist. What am I looking for though? Hang on, hang on. I wish there was a way to better organize this. Here it is. Here it is. So he has this series of things that he calls it the Dark Cupid series, and it's basically him like it's porn. It's porn. It's straight porn. But it's not though, because it's not about the sex. It's not about the sex at all. It's about his power. Sometimes the most interesting thing you can do, like if you really want to get to know someone, listen to them talking about sex. And this sounds weird, and I acknowledge it sounds weird, but he has this whole series of like basically him reading porn stories in his like fucking godlike voice. But they're not really about sex. They're all about power and control. And they're the ones I've listened to are fascinating. Anyway, Tina, if you want me to buy you these, I'll buy you these too. God. Anyway, my point is that there's lots of good stuff that they can avail themselves of on his website right now that will help them to alleviate themselves from me and help them to rid themselves of the narcissist in their life if I am indeed a narcissist. God. Let me just look through the chat real quick. Vince says no gifting the enemy. I feel like it would be a gift for all of us, Vince. I feel like if I got them to shut the hell up about me and go no contact, I feel like that would be a gift that we would all benefit from. I would be more focused. I wouldn't have 40 tweet threads written about me on Twitter about how I'm an obvious narcissist, that Chrissy Mare's simp bitch of a man, well, if we can call him that, are like retweeting out to Chrissy Mare's fucking audience. I would be so much more focused. I wouldn't be doing 2.5-hour streams at midnight on a Thursday morning talking about it. It would benefit everyone if they got it under control. I'm just saying. It would benefit everyone. Do you guys want to listen? Let's okay, to wrap this up, Sin told me that HG Tudor did a video early where he was talking about wokeism. Let's listen to that video. Here, if you guys have never met HG Tudor before, you can get introduced to HG Tudor, and it is actually a topic on my channel. Yay! Chrissy Mare is not funny. Chrissy Mare is absolutely not funny. I don't get it. All right, let's see. So HG Tudor has a video up called Woke Censorship. And so let's listen to HG Tudor's thoughts about woke censorship. This is relevant to our interests. And this way, if you've never heard him talk before, you're going to get to hear his glorious voice. And it'll be the perfect thing to do before we sign off tonight and go to bed. And of course, I didn't get the work done I needed to do tonight, but you know, we've had some fun, haven't we? All right, let's listen. Let's see how much HG Tudor knows about woke. I'm sure he's very smart about it.
Woke censorship. Hello, I'm HG Tudor. It is
Come on, tell me that voice isn't the fucking voice of a god. And he knows it too. And that's what's so fabulous about it. I fucking love unapologetic narcissists. It's the best. Anyway.
Undeniable that society has a long history of bigotry, sexism, racism, discrimination, homophobia, and other isms besides. In humanity's past, most people have not been treated fairly, equally, or it might be argued even humanely. There have always been certain groups of people who maintain superiority to others by reason of sex, religion, ethnicity, family name, and so forth.
It was recommended for you, Vince.
This perceived...
Maybe HG Tudor will make more videos about... Maybe... Wouldn't it be great? I would love it if HG Tudor stopped making videos about Meghan Markle and made videos about woke. Oh my god, that would be amazing. Now I understand why he's not going to do that, because Meghan Markle is like the thing that everyone wants to watch, but man. So I think he probably got started on this because HG Tudor is a very big fan of Roald Dahl. And he got really pissed when they were censoring Roald Dahl the other day. And so maybe he'll start talking about this more. I really hope he does. I think that'd be great.
Superiority by groups in power has frequently justified their maltreatment of other minority and or disempowered groups. It's easy to treat others as less than equals if you believe they are inferior. And indeed, of course, much of the root cause of this has been as a consequence of my kind, for we regard others as inferior to us, and thus we are the true believers behind so many of the diktats and doctrines that have led to the oppression of human beings throughout history. Many people...
Don't you love that he's just like admitting, he's like, yes, my kind is the oppressor. Like, it's so great. It's so refreshing is what it is. So many people like throw narcissist around as like an insult, or they like everyone tries to like spend all this time denying that they're a narcissist, and I am acknowledging that I just did a 2.5 hour stream basically saying this thread was written about me saying I'm a narcissist and it's bullshit. So I understand the irony of me saying that, but there is just something so refreshing about a person, even though he's anonymous, because he never shows his face on any of these. Like, we're never gonna know who he is. Um, just to hear a person say, like, yes, I am a narcissist and I will oppress you, it's just refreshing. I don't know.
Especially young people, now have a heightened awareness of this troubled past and have sought to correct these collective wrongs. This is where the term woke has come into play. It is defined as aware of and actively attentive to important facts and issues, especially issues of racial and social justice.
Fair definition for some.
Given that we,
I define woke as authoritarian, but his definition is correct. I'm not criticizing him. His definition is correct based on some people's definition of it. I define woke as authoritarian because I think the fundamental battle between that we're in right now is authoritarianism versus libertarianism. It's not right versus left. It's not, conservative versus progressive or any of that. It's authoritarianism versus libertarianism. And woke can exist on the political left. It can also exist on the political right. But admittedly, my definition of it is an abstract definition, and it's around the concept and functionally what it does rather than the dictionary definition. So I'm not criticizing. I'm just offering additional substance.
Humanity have a long history of racial and social injustice. It at first blush might be considered that being woke to these problems is a good thing. After all, how can you address a problem without first being aware of it? As I invariably teach those of you that come to me in consultation, you need to understand and recognize what it is that you're dealing with in terms of your ensnarement with the narcissist, and to know and understand yourself before you can then take the corrective steps to free yourself of the shackles of narcissistic ensnarement. People who are woke then have a tendency to call out or cancel those they perceive not to be woke or woke enough.
Yes.
Cancelling someone occurs when one person says or does something to which others who are woke object, and then that person finds themselves being shamed and criticized, usually on social media. This can result in the ruination of a person's reputation, and that individual may find themselves losing their livelihood, losing supporters and followers, having contracts cancelled, losing out on auditions and concerts and so forth, so that it causes them a very significant problem in their lives. In 2019, in an interview for the Obama Foundation on Youth Activism, President Obama expressed strong concerns about wokeism and the cancel culture that was emerging.
Please.
He said,
I wonder why the fuck did Obama do that? Because it's obvious that Barack Obama doesn't care about wokeism, and he's not concerned with wokeism. Barack Obama has leaned into wokeism like few people have. I don't understand why he did that. Like, has he and didn't he get like resoundingly attacked when he did that? This is less a comment on what HG is saying. I'm just saying, like, I to this day do not understand why Barack Obama did that, because he absolutely understands what's going on. He is the architect of a lot of this nonsense. Well, okay, I may have overstated there. What I mean is that he is the architect of how a lot of this stuff got pushed into public policy via his presidency. That's what I meant. He's not the architect of the woke nonsense. The woke nonsense started a long ass time ago. You could argue the Frankfurt School. You could argue back. I mean, I argue that this stuff stems from the Communist Manifesto. Like, and we can draw lines back to that. What I'm saying when I said Obama is the architect, I meant insofar as how he pushed these ideas through policy during his presidency, and then he came back a decade later to say he's concerned about it. Bullshit. Sorry. Don't believe it.
Said, this idea of purity, and you're never compromised, and you're always politically woke, and all of that, you need to get over it quickly, because the world is messy. There are ambiguities. People who do really good stuff have flaws. People who you are fighting may love their kids and share certain things with you. Amongst those that identify as woke, there is a vocal minority who utilize the concept of wokeism as a means of achieving the prime aims of the narcissist. It is they, driven by a sanctimonious, self-righteous view that they are somehow on the side of good and that they are morally correct, which therefore allows them to judge others, and that they are, without restraint, without condition, are absolutely entitled to silence others.
I don't know that I agree with him when he says that they know they are on the side of good or that they believe they're morally good. I can certainly understand why he would say that, and I think that that is probably true for a lot of them. But I really think that the true believers, which are the people that are driving this ideology, I don't think the true believers care if they're being morally good. Now, I do absolutely agree with him that they feel entitled to silence other people. 100% correct about that. Entitlement is one of the things that he talks about in terms of narcissism. But I really don't think that, I think that the useful idiots or the useful innocents, as it were, if we're being a little bit nicer, I think that the useful idiots perceive themselves as like being on the side of good. But I think that the true believers don't actually care about being moral. I don't think they believe in morals. I mean, in a lot of respects, woke has replaced morality for them. It hasn't, they're not woke because their moral values call them to be woke. They are woke because the woke ideology has replaced religion or spirituality or any sense of like anything that's going to establish moral guidelines. I mean, a lot of them are atheists too, so they don't have like a value system or a belief system outside of the woke ideology. It's filling the God-shaped hole in, you know, if we're going to go the Jordan Peterson route. Of course she's tweeting about me again. Of course she is. Tina, are you watching me right now, Tina? Are you spending all your time obsessing about me right now? Tina, do you want me to pay for you to talk to HG Tudor so he can explain the no contact regime that you need to engage in to alleviate yourself of me? I think it'd be pretty great, Tina. I'll do it. Let me know.
They exhibit their hypocrisy by declaring that they are allowed to speak their truth by reason of freedom of speech, but you are denied any opportunity to express your view.
Do you guys know how I told you that there would quite literally be clips of this stream on Twitter before I was done this stream? There are quite literally clips of this stream on Twitter right now before I am done this stream. This is a clip from this stream. Told ya. It's like these people are predictable in their absolute obsession over me. Oh shit, fuck. I accidentally messed up.
How can you address a problem without
Hang on.
losing supporters and followers? Is the concept of wokeism as a means of achieving the prime aims of the
Hang on. I need to find where I accidentally moved the thing. So
people
apologies.
who do really good stuff that was emerging. He said, this idea of purity and you're never compromised and you're always them a very significant problem in their lives. And that individual, when one person says or does something to which others who are woke object, and then that person finds themselves being shamed and criticized.
We'll just listen from there.
Usually on social media. This can result in the ruination of a person's reputation.
Oh, holy shit. You know what's even more funny than that? This is actually fucking hilarious. There was actually a specific part in my stream. I didn't realize this when I just showed I didn't realize this when I just showed you guys that this was already clipped. There was, for everyone who was here for the entire stream. Oh, that's not what I wanted to show you. Hang on. We're going to get back to that. I'm sorry I'm not giving all the attention to HG Tudor, as he resoundingly deserves all the attention. I am being a horrible appreciator of the God damn it. Why does it keep going to that screen? So there was a part in the stream earlier where I said, I'm a narcissist. Yes, I'm a narcissist. Just do the no contact regime. And I said to you guys when I said that on the stream that they would absolutely clip that part out of context and then put it on Twitter saying, Carlin just said she's a narcissist. We win. But they would leave out the part where I said, I'm just doing this to make a point that they're going to clip this and put this on Twitter. Guess what's on Twitter right now? Yes, will gladly say that I'm a narcissist. Yes, I am a narcissist, Carrie. Go no contact. Will gladly say that I'm a narcissist. They literally did exactly what I said they were going to do. I am a narcissist, Carrie. Go no contact. They quite literally did exactly and precisely what I said they were going to do earlier in this stream, which they clipped me saying I'm a narcissist and then left out the part right after it where I said they're going to clip this and put this on Twitter out of context. Jesus Christ. It's like I'm a real psychologist and I know how these people's obsession works. All right, back to HG Tudor. And we're not interrupting HG Tudor again because it was very rude of me to interrupt him the first time. I apologize. I should never have done that. All right, let's listen.
And that individual may find themselves losing their livelihood, losing supporters and followers, having contracts cancelled, losing out on auditions and concerts and so forth, so that it causes them a very significant problem in their lives. In 2019, in an interview for the Obama Foundation on Youth Activism, President Obama expressed strong concerns about wokeism and the cancel culture that was emerging.
My bad.
Amongst those that identify as woke, there is a vocal minority who utilize the concept of wokeism as a means of achieving the prime aims of the narcissist. Which is they, driven by a sanctimonious, self-righteous view that they are somehow on the side of good and that they are morally correct, which therefore allows them to judge others, and that they are, without restraint, without condition, are absolutely entitled to silence others. They exhibit their...
We've got a super chat from Sean. Thank you for that. At the core, it's a Gnostic faith. I don't agree with this. I know James Lindsay is on about Gnosticism, and I understand why he is. I do not agree with this. There are a lot of people who have disagreed with James Lindsay on this. It's not a question of morality in the current world. They are compelled to drive their beliefs forward to move closer to escaping the reality they're trapped in. I understand your perspective on this, Sean. You're more than welcome to have your perspective. I just really disagree with James Lindsay's positioning on this. I think he's way oversimplified. And I'm not a Gnostic, by the way. I'm not, but I just think he's way oversimplified this point. And maybe it needs some fleshing out. James Lindsay's doing a lot. You know, just needs a little fleshing out.
Hypocrisy by declaring that they are allowed to speak their truth by reason of freedom of speech. But you are denied any opportunity to express your view or opinion because it fails to accord with their views. A contrary view cannot be allowed. Why? Because subconsciously it amounts to a threat to control, and therefore that woke individual's narcissism causes them to reject your contrary view in order to nullify the threat to control by labeling it as wrong, racist, a hate-filled observation.
You know, part of the reason that I started listening to HG Tudor's work is it really helped me delineate between woke and narcissism. And there are things that I agree with him on, in that I do agree with what he just says. I do believe that the woke do actually absolutely have a fear of being taken out of control, which is the same thing a narcissist has. A narcissist has a fear of being taken out of control. And so I do absolutely agree with him on that. I think, though, the difference is why. And so narcissists have a fear of being taken out of control because in their childhood, there were instances where they were not given what they needed in some capacity. And it also there's nature and nurture. So if you have narcissistic parents, you're more likely to like have the biological makeup that would lead you to be a narcissist, but that also needs to be nurtured. So there also needs to be elements of your childhood where you are not given like your needs are not met by your parents in some way. And so it was that fundamental like lack of control in childhood that seeks them that results in them seeking out control over absolutely everything in their lives. The woke, I think, are a little bit different. Now, not all of them, because there are absolutely legitimate narcissists among the ranks of the woke. And so I'm not saying that there are no real narcissists, and I do absolutely believe that exists. But I think that the woke don't want it's hard to explain. They want to be in control as a means to an end to achieve their objective, but the woke don't want to be in control in every single part of their life. So the woke have very specific objectives that they are trying to meet. And they absolutely want control in those areas. But there are so many other facets of their life that they have no control over at all. They have no internal locus of control. A lot of them, I mean, you can just look at them to understand that they are not in control of aspects of their lives. So it's only focused on very minute things. Whereas people that are narcissists want control over everything, everything and everyone, because the world has to revolve around them. With the woke, it is more focused on achieving political goals and in facilitating this Marxist revolution that they are determined to make happen. So I'm saying that like there is absolutely truth to what he's saying. I'm just trying to bring in more nuance that I don't think is normally covered when we're talking about the woke ideology, because a lot of people really don't understand it because there aren't a lot of great resources out there to really explain it, which is what I'm trying to create.
That you are a misogynist or a hater. This group have gone forward through their
I disagree,
sense
Sean.
of entitlement.
You're allowed to agree.
Lack of
I don't agree
by
though.
having no intellectual rigor, to have decided that there is such a concept that their feelings become facts. This is wholly inaccurate. They operate on the basis that if you offend them, you become a morally reprehensible individual who therefore is fair game to be castigated, chastised, silenced, and punished. In other words, your view threatens their sense of control, and because they are on the side of right, they are justified and entitled in nullifying that threat to control by castigating you, chastising you, silencing you, and punishing you, i.e., manipulating you into compliance. This group is populated by narcissists who are the true believers of wokeism. This isn't to say that all narcissists are on the side of woke. Of course not. Narcissists are found of every political persuasion. But this group of true believers in wokeism subconsciously use a false moral standpoint to control others, i.e., the assertion of control or nullification of a threat to control.
See, and this is and I do think he is correct in talking about certain types of true believers within the woke ideology. Again, there is truth to what he's saying. However, the more dangerous people, I think, are doing it to achieve political aims. Which is not exactly the same thing as what he's saying. Because again, it's not about any sort of moral code. It's not about any sort of moral righteousness. It's about they want to facilitate a cultural revolution. Everything they are doing is leading to facilitating a cultural revolution.
To draw reactions from them, namely fuel. to manage a facade, to monetize their supposed woke.
See, this is one of the things I'm gonna disagree with him on, and I'm sure he's right and I'm wrong. But I don't think that the true believers in the woke ideology are interested in provoking an emotional reaction. Okay, so what narcissists do is that in order to gain fuel, I'm explaining it how I think H.G. Tudor would explain it, and I'm sure he would explain it much better than I'm about to, because I'm tired. Also because he knows more about it than I do. But I think what he would say is that narcissists need to provoke emotional reactions in people in order to gain fuel from them. Either you're going to get positive attention from them, like they're going to like love you and think you're the greatest thing since sliced bread and take care of all your needs and all this stuff and oh my god, you're amazing and all these compliments and da 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 da. Or you're going to get negative reaction, which is like you piss them off, they yell at you, they throw something, whatever. And for a narcissist, either of those reactions is fine. They don't differentiate really between like positive and negative. Sometimes a negative interaction can actually give them more potent fuel. He calls it challenge fuel. So like he's basically saying that the woke are trying to provoke people in order to get that emotional reaction, in order to get fuel, and I don't believe that's the case. Perhaps for some of them that are legitimate narcissists, the woke are trying to exert control in order to achieve political aims. That, I mean, he might say that they feel entitled to, and that's a sign that they're a narcissist. Okay, fine, fair point. But they're not doing it to provoke an emotional reaction. In fact, to be quite frank, and I've been around a lot of woke cancel mobs. I've also been around other types of cancel mobs, like woke leftist cancel mobs. The woke left are such pussies. They really are. The right, the cancel bullshit that goes on the political right is far worse. Far, far, far. Like the alt-right is far worse than the woke left in terms of their ability to take any sort of challenge at all. The woke left basically run away and hide. I can make people on the woke left cry without even trying very hard. But like the alt-right, I'm not going near those people with a 50-foot pole because they're awful and it's not worth it. So maybe he'll bring me around to it and I'm sure he's correct, but I don't necessarily agree with what he just said there.
To access particular networks, all of which are residual benefits. Driven by their sense of entitlement to speak their truth, operating without accountability for their judgments, functioning without emotional empathy for the views, lives, and needs of other individuals that they deem to be contrary to their stance, acting with a haughty judgment of others, and bandying around a facade of moral righteousness, the concept of wokedom has been seized upon and driven by so many narcissists. Naturally, not all of those that espouse a woke view are narcissists. There are normals and even empaths who are caught up in the herd mentality by the leadership of these true believers. The wokeists act without restraint and through a perpetuating belief that they are good and that you, by virtue...
So I want to look at this from Andrew in the chat. If you're showering someone with compliments constantly, are you a narcissist? Well, yes, actually. Well, not necessarily, not based on the virtue of that, but narcissists do that. He calls it the golden period, where like when he first gets into a relationship with someone, like he showers them with compliments and praise and gifts and oh my god, you are the best thing that's ever happened to me, you're perfect for me, it's all this stuff. And when they do that, they get positive fuel from the person that they're with. But eventually they do that because eventually they're going to turn on the person they're with and they're going to start doing negative interactions, and the negative interactions provide more potent fuel because of how yes, love bombing, exactly, Steve. They love bomb them. They love bomb them to mimic what the experience of love looks like. So yes, narcissists do shower people with compliments. Don't be fooled. Not everything a narcissist does is evil, guys. Like, well, I mean, you could say they have their motivations, but they're not just like pure evil. Narcissists can treat people really well. They just want something out of it, which is why they're doing it.
Of a contrary standpoint are bad. The typical black and white thinking. But owing to their black and white thinking, they fail to recognize the many failings in their behaviors. And here are just a few examples.
God, the truer words have never been
labeling
spoken.
Someone as a racist doesn't actually tell that person in what they've done that was offensive. It's a blanket response. It doesn't explain what ought to be done to change that behavior. And indeed, there is nothing often to change.
Well, the point, though, and maybe he'll get to this, the point of calling someone a racist, though, is not to explain to them what they did wrong. The point of calling someone a racist is to gain power over them by making them feel ashamed for something that they weren't aware was wrong in the first place. And so you're calling them a racist so that they bend the knee and comply to your will.
It is simply the use of that label to snuff out the threat to control that is posed. Similarly, if a person finds himself cancelled for a perceived transgression, how can they seek any redemption of the position when their status has been cancelled? Their platform has been removed from them. The wokeists surely would want people to come round to their way of thinking, but how can they do so when they've been bullied into silence? The fact is that calling someone a racist or a similar label is offensive in itself. It's done without due regard for the evidence. And therefore, what these wokeists do is cause people to be recipients of these labels to then think, you're labeling me without actually understanding me. And therefore, that individual, quite understandably, is not going to listen to any argument put forward by a wokeist, assuming that even they have a decent argument. And some of them may well do. Instead,
none of them do
labeling someone and immediately judging them.
They do not.
That individual is left thinking, I have been judged. I have not been given the opportunity to explain myself. Therefore, why on earth should I listen to what you have to say?
You know what's so crazy about listening to this is not listening to a narcissistic psychopath talk about woke culture. It's hearing him explain it from the point of view of like a normie, like how normies experience woke culture. And the reason I say that is, and we talked about this earlier in the stream. I am so, my head is in this bullshit so much that I am like 15 steps removed from being able to understand a normal human perspective about woke culture anymore. And I don't think that's a good thing, by the way. I just don't know what to do about it because I have to have my head in it so far to really be able to understand it. And I feel like my understanding of the woke ideology is probably 2 to 3 years ahead of like the average person. And I'm not saying that to pat myself on the back. It's just because I've consumed so much of their content. And so it's actually really difficult for me to understand how average people perceive them right now. And so it's kind of funny for me to listen to HG Tudor kind of explaining what I think is like a good, like, average people see it like this, and this is why they're confused. And I think he's super insightful when it comes to human psychology and human behavior. And so it's interesting for me to hear him say that just because I haven't heard that perspective articulated in a long time. And I stopped being able to relate to normal people on this like a long ass time ago.
Those individuals are going to respond with anger, resentment, hurt, and hostility. The fear that is generated as a consequence of being called out and labeled and cancelled restricts free speech and honest differences of opinion. It means that people become frightened to voice their concerns because they fear being singled out and they're being associated.
I just want to point out that he is actually saying things right now that are completely reasonable. He's like, they don't want to be canceled. They're afraid of speaking up. And I'm just listening to this going, he is a narcissistic psychopath, and he is probably the most reasonable person in the room right now when it comes to this discussion about woke culture. Life is so funny, man. You just never know what you're going to find on any given day. The narcissistic psychopath is the most reasonable person in the discussion.
Social media pylon. They fear voicing a legitimate opinion, which they're perfectly entitled to do, and often ones which are well formed based upon evidence, because they will be shouted down, labeled, castigated as belonging to a group that deserves to be cancelled. In effect, this means that the wokeists start to become a thought police.
Oh God, we need to get HG. Please join the culture war with us. We need your voice used as a weapon against the woke. No, he won't do that. It wouldn't serve him to do that. It wouldn't serve his motives and his goals and build his legacy. I mean, God, wouldn't it be funny though if the weapon that we really needed in the culture war against the woke was a narcissistic psychopath? It would be awesome if he like focused like even just like a smidgen of energy like analyzing these people psychologically. I would listen to everything. Because again, I do think he has a lot of really good insight about human psychology, which is ironic considering he doesn't feel the same emotions we do. But I don't like, so he is doing this content stuff to build a legacy and to teach people about narcissism. And so I don't think there's anything that we could do to make it worth it for him to engage with this bullshit. Also, I mean, like, why would he? Like, honestly, why would anyone do this? I'm crazy for doing this all day, every day. Like, the people that engage in this, we descend into madness. Like, why would he put up with the bullshit that's required to do something like this? I don't know. Oh, I know. I know. And I don't care anymore.
Represents an Orwellian future where freedom of expression becomes extremely restricted, that the wokeists are allowed to express their views, but anybody else that has a contrary view is not allowed. The use of the woke movement by narcissists and their blinded non-narcissist followers is resulting in censorship and a brutal attack on free speech. You are being told what you can and cannot do, what you can and cannot say, and ultimately, this is leading to a policing of your thoughts. Ask yourself, when you have felt moved to express an opinion to a friend, in a debate, or often on social media, have you felt the need to check yourself in terms of what you might say? If so, your thoughts are being policed already. A majority, of course, do not actually accept this.
Is HG Tudor actually giving people a little bit of a motivational talk to be like, don't succumb to this bullshit? I love this. We're getting a pep talk right now from the narcissistic psychopath.
But find themselves being cowed into submissive silence too often by the vocal minority rather, of these woke narcissists. And the fear of being labeled, stigmatized, and cancelled means that whilst there is a silent majority who all agree that what the wokeists are saying is nonsensical, they dare not say it. The assault against this has already begun across so much of our civilization and society. The rewriting of history, propagated in schools and colleges, the changing of names and labels, the removing of statues, and the altering of language. Just for example, only recently, the pop star Sam Smith referred to a fisher them, altering the English language. There is no need for it. But it is done with a righteousness.
Did he just pronoun shame Sam Smith? Oh, that was based. Right? This was not something I had on my bingo card for this week. He just pronoun shamed Sam Smith. Oh, I love it. I gotta say though, and this is gonna be controversial, and I know that you guys might not agree with me. I kind of love Sam Smith in that I love that he doesn't give a fuck. I love like that he just flaunts it. I love that he knows like that people like make fun of his weight, and he does these like Instagram videos where he's just like eating out of a bag of Doritos. I love it. I'm not saying I like him or what he stands for. I love people who are like basically give a finger to society's expectations of them.
behind it, and that if you dare were to criticize Mr. Smith for using such a term, you can expect a howling mob to descend upon you,
Oh, ain't that the
explaining
truth?
that you are prejudiced, that you are a bigot. No,
You're transphobe.
you're merely defending the proper use of the English language. And the English language, or any language, of course, is now being attacked through wokeism and a form of censorship that it utilizes. Withholding information is the essence of tyranny. Control of the flow of information is the tool of the dictatorship. So said Bruce Coville. Benjamin Franklin also stated, if all printers were determined not to print anything till they were sure it would offend nobody, there would be very little printed. Benjamin Franklin's words have greater resonance than ever before as a consequence of the recent attacks upon the works of authors. J.K. Rowling has expressed certain views in support of women, which has led to the disgraceful response of certain once-child actors turning...
Hang on. Carrie is welcome to reach out to me and have a private civil conversation or a public conversation at any time that she wants. I have offered this publicly on numerous occasions. The good Christian Carrie is not showing any good Christian grace or redemption. She's allowed to. I would do it. I would have a sit down. Joshua and I have offered on numerous occasions for Joshua and I to sit down with Carrie and Carrie's pastor and have a discussion. They won't do it because they're good Christians. Do we need Dr. Todd to... Okay, does he do that? Can some narcissism expert analyze if I'm a narcissist, please? I seriously would like that. I would love for it to be HG Tudor, but that's not the way he works, and that's totally fine. But, like, if any other narcissism expert wants to analyze if I'm a narcissist, that'd be pretty great. I would love it.
Against her, who owe their entire living and fame.
No. HG Tudor does not like Dr. this person. I don't know how to say the name. But I specifically think that this person has been referenced as someone that has stolen HG Tudor's work, and I will not besmirch him like that. If HG Tudor says that someone is not an expert in narcissism and he's stolen his work, then I believe him.
To her brilliant works, where people have sought to cancel and ban her work because she's expressed an opinion. And just because they don't like it, they think that they are perfectly entitled to issue a call to action, a call to arms to say, ban J.K. Rowling, cancel her, silence her, don't buy the latest game, Hogwarts Legacy. There's even an individual that has gone back and sought to change the covers of the books. How dare this individual enter into a censorship of the works of...
I'm really impressed that he knew that. He's talking about that person in Canada. This was like an obscure news story. He's talking about this person in Canada who basically is changing the book covers of J.K. Rowling's books to sell them to trans people so that they don't have to be harmed by her name being on the cover. Wow. Okay, HG Tudor's got some woke game. All right.
Of somebody who created a world that has given so much pleasure and enjoyment to millions, tens of millions of people around the globe. But this individual, as a wokist, censors that work. How dare they do so? They offer nothing but their censorship of the work of another. We've seen the outrageous conduct of the publisher's Puffin with regard to the works of Roald Dahl, which I spoke about in a recent video. But ask yourself, how far will these individuals go? Driven by their narcissist need to assert control and draw fuel. This small group that are making these decisions in offices away from scrutiny, in bunkers, unseen by the majority who have always enjoyed these works, who are becoming cowed into silence through fear of speaking out. How far might they go? Already, they're seeking to damage and displace the works of Roald Dahl. But imagine where they could go to next. There'll be those of you that are familiar with Noddy. What about if the books became this way? It was a beautiful day, and Noddy had gone to visit his best friend, a bearded gnome who lived in a toadstool house. "Hello, Big Ears," said Noddy. "How dare you call me that?" gasped the gnome. "There is nothing wrong with the size of my ears, and it's extremely hurtful of you to draw attention to them in this cruel and insensitive manner. What a horrid little bully." "How dare you call me little?" gasped Noddy. "It's extremely hurtful of you to draw attention to my height in this cruel and insensitive manner."
Oh, he's so right
What
about
a nasty
this.
old man. "How dare you call me old?" gasped the gnome.
Soon enough, Jen.
"That's
Thank
blatant
you.
ageism. Right, that's it. I'm never speaking to you again. Many of you will be familiar with the very hungry caterpillar, perhaps one of the first books that you ever had involvement with. On Saturday, the caterpillar ate through one slice of cheesecake, one hamburger, one portion of chips, one BLT sandwich, one chocolate eclair, one pork pie, one bag of jelly babies, one packet of crisps, one pot noodle, and one deep-fried Mars bar. That night, he felt sick, and all because of the hateful body shaming that remains rife in our shockingly fat-phobic culture. The next day, thankfully, he realized that he was actually a perfectly normal and healthy size for a caterpillar, and found the strength and courage to resist the pressure we cruelly place on caterpillars to transform themselves into beautiful butterflies, because he had realized he was already beautiful, just the way he was. Many of you in your childhood will have enjoyed Roger Hargreaves' books about the Mr. Men. Well, why don't we wokeify Mr. Tickle? That afternoon, Mr. Tickle tickled everybody. He tickled the dentist, he tickled the farmer, he tickled the baker, he tickled the teacher, he tickled the whole town. And that is why, after years of touching people inappropriately, without their consent and a flagrant violation of their personal boundaries, Mr. Tickle has quite rightly been cancelled.
Mr. Tickle was a groomer.
How about the Gruffalo being revised? "I say, little mousie, would you care to come and have lunch in my Weasley lair? That's a thoughtful offer, Weasel, but no, I've got a date with a Gruffalo." "A Gruffalo? What on earth do you mean? The most hideous beast the world's ever seen. It has hideous fangs and hideous feet, and its hideous breath stinks of rotting meat." "Hey," said the Gruffalo, "that's not nice. I've never said anything mean about mice. What's wrong with my teeth, I'd like to know, or my feet or my breath? This is really low. It hurts me when animals see me and scream. No wonder we monsters have low self-esteem. You shouldn't judge somebody based on their looks. I'm glad they're rewriting these horrible books." And then finally, how about Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone? "There's something you need to understand, Harry," said Hagrid gravely. "Dark forces are on the rise. They will stop at nothing to achieve their wicked aims, and they are led by the most terrifying, cold-hearted, and downright evil villain that ever walked."
Hang on. What he's doing is he's rewriting the stories as if they were told by woke. I think it's interesting. I want to see where he's going with it. Got about a minute and a half left.
"The Earth." "Voldemort?" asked Harry. "Far worse than that," said Hagrid. "It's J.K. Rowling." Those are just, of course, a tongue-in-cheek envisagement of the way that the wokists might get hold of those beloved books. But it's already started. And it is the narcissists that are at the core of wokeism, utilizing it as a method to achieve the prime aims that is resulting in this censorship. The right, of course, censors, but invariably it does so in a more obvious manner, that these simply are texts which ought not to be allowed. And they do so, saying you're not allowed to read them because they're viewed as being subversive. They make it clear that it's about maintaining control over you. The wokists are far more invidious and insidious in the way that they go about this. They do so under the auspices of, this is all about doing the right thing, and that we care, and that it's
right
all
about that.
ensuring that the appropriate standards are upheld. But as I've demonstrated to you, it is but a method of pursuing the prime aims. And censorship is on the rise and is one of the means of doing it.
Huh. All right. I mean, it was tough for me to kind of like evaluate that. I will say that I'm impressed with HG Tudor's like observations. I think that he's kind of like where I expect, like he has a like I think he has like above average like understanding of this, which I think is good. I hope he does more videos about this stuff. But I liked how he kind of told the story about like what would happen if these children's books were told woke. Like I thought that was a really interesting way to go about it. But mostly I'm just like, it's really saying a lot. And again, I don't necessarily agree with the conclusion that he came to, in that it is all about the woke culture is about feeding the prime aims of the narcissist, because I don't believe that the woke left is trying to elicit an emotional response, which is going to be one of the prime aims of the narcissist, is getting fueled by eliciting like an emotional response. I don't think that's true. I think they have a political aim, and I think they are trying to elicit a cultural revolution. So I don't agree with that. I'm sure he's probably right and I am wrong, but that's where I'm at right now. And I'm sure I'll come around to his point of view when I just think about it a little bit more. But the biggest point I want to make about that before I go to bed in 4 minutes, I'm not streaming any longer than 4 more minutes, is that isn't it funny that the narcissistic psychopath is having a more reasonable conversation about culture and a more reasonable conversation about literature and a more reasonable conversation about censorship than the far left progressives that are ruining everything? H.G. Tudor is a legitimate, diagnosed, narcissistic psychopath, and he is more reasonable than the people who control every major institution in our country. And he's not in our country, he's in the United Kingdom. But I think we can say the same is true there. It's actually probably worse there, if we're honest about it. What a time to be alive. Maybe the narcissistic psychopath is the hero that we need. You just never know, do you? You never know. Exactly, John Morgan. We are living in the upside down. All right, guys, I think that is a perfect place to end it. Thank you for allowing me to do this self-indulgent, slightly narcissistic, okay, maybe a lot narcissistic stream tonight. I appreciate you guys hanging out. I hope you were amused as much as I was. I will be back. Well, I guess today now it's 1 a.m. my time, but maybe tomorrow your time, around 5 p.m. for a stream. I didn't do a 5 p.m. stream today because I was at an event with Vivek Ramaswamy, who just announced he's running for president, and then he came right to New Hampshire to have an event with us. Yay! Keep an eye out for Vivek. Truly. Vivek is Vivek's gonna do more than I think people think he is. Based on what I saw tonight, based on what I've seen of him over the past couple of years, Vivek's one to watch. All right, guys, take care. Have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.